Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to, I guess this is our second watch party, Joe. I think we did a draft. We did our draft watch party. This is going to be our first one watching a game together. This kind of sounds fun, right? This is
Yeah,
cool. This is cool.
yeah. Technically our second, but I don't know. I don't know how much of a watch party the draft was, especially when the Kings weren't really involved in that first round. But yeah, this should be fun. We've got a good matchup against Colorado. I don't know what what your expectations are if you've had a chance to see the lineups and what you're kind of thinking here, but hopefully there's a couple 2 points here.
I did see the Kings lineup. I haven't taken a look at the Avs lineup. Did they? I know they were dealing with a handful of injuries. I think Eric Johnson even left practice early today, too.
I
I
did
don't
not
know.
see that, but I know Nichushkin has re-injured his ankle. McKinnon is getting closer, but he, as far as I know, is still out. Obviously, they still have Landeskog out. They are a banged up team, that's for sure.
Yeah, so if you've been a part of our podcast episodes, we try to make those, I guess, a little bit formal, I guess is the word. This is totally, I mean, like, what's the word? Just casual, just
Yeah,
chilling. We're watching the game. Couple of guys who like hockey. Anybody wants to join in the chat, talk about the Kings, talk about what you like, what you don't like about the game. Any comments? What your Christmas was like? Let's have some fun. We're all chilling, just hanging out and watching a hockey game. Should be a good time.
so we talked on the last show, which was, just last night, about, hey, CJ, how are you? Welcome. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'm at the helm right now until Randon will show up, but I'm at the helm with the comments.
yeah,
But yeah,
we have
CJ,
no
what's
idea.
up?
Yes, CJ, we have no idea what's going on here. We're like two chickens with their heads cut off trying to get through.
Look, I got a little pregame notification.
There we go. So we talked last night, Russ, about the line mates for Quentin Byfield, being Brendan Lemieux and Rasmus Kapari. I don't know that it's any better today with Carl Grunstrom and Rasmus Kapari. But what are your any thoughts on the lineup? And I will say, like, McClellan's in a tough spot here because of the injuries, right? Kaliev's still out, Trevor Moore's still out. So, you got to work with what you have. So that is what it is.
Yeah, it's the Moore injury kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
It's puts a wrench in everything. It's still a little disappointing because I really like the way IFL's been playing lately. He's looked so sick, and I guess the bittersweet aspect of this is we see IFL playing with Deneau and Arvidsson. We see how those three can mesh together, but now we're leaving Byfield with two of the probably worst wingers that he could play with right now.
And I think, I the more we talk, and I really think that this says way more about Blake Lizotte than it does anything else. Because if Blake Lizotte wasn't playing this well, like, he's not going to be getting these elevated minutes. They're going to maybe continue to go back to Byfield like they try to.
So Carter,
hey, Carter scores. So I think this is just, again, it really shows, like, look at what Blake Lizotte is doing and how far he's elevated his game over these last couple of years. And to now he's being able to not only play third line minutes, but playing pretty well.
Happy New Year, Shankmaster.
Happy
Yeah, is this the first time we've seen Kupari on the wing in quite a while? I just noticed that.
He played there. Well, he played there just yesterday or last game, right? With
That's right. Okay. I don't know why I didn't.
But I think, well, to your point, though, he's been a center most of this season, if I recall. I mean, last year I think he was on the wing. I don't know offhand if he listened, if he played the wing early this season.
I don't think he has, actually. I think he's only been the center, kind of the backup center, whenever anyone's not or out. What's going on, Green? Long-time listener, first-time caller. Love it. What's the over-under on Sean Walker scoring 2 goals tonight? Lost me off. Oh, you said just to piss me off. Nah. Dude, Walker looked good in the last game. That's the thing is, I said this on the Twitter Spaces. Like, okay, we're all going to be so critical about Sean Walker because we want to see Jordan Spence. We've talked about Bryant Clark. Like, so Sean Walker's kind of been the scapegoat with everything. Which, like, we're not lying when we say when we think he's probably the worst available. I don't know. I don't want to be so tough on him, but dude, you have to give him his due when he plays well. That one play he made to deny that cross ice pass was like in the third period when it was close game. That probably prevented a goal. So I mean, let's see how he does tonight, right? I'm not gonna bang the drum for Sean Walker to be in the lineup every night, but I don't know. It's just if he's playing well, that's awesome. I mean, that's awesome, right? If you're a Kings fan, Sean Walker playing good. That's what we need. Or just because it's Sean Walker, you can't be too upset about it. You want the team to be winning games, and that's what they're doing. So
he's not a like, and this is what always makes me feel, I guess, feel bad for lack of a better term, but like he's not a bad. He's an NHL defenseman. It's just the situation that the Kings are in is all that I can understand the fans' kind of frustration with wanting to move on from him and get something a little bit more quote unquote exciting in here. But and two Green Hicks in hockey. He's plus 1,000 to score a goal tonight at our sponsor DraftKings.
Oh, we found it. Love it.
So promo code THPN at DraftKings. If you want to get in on that, plus 1,000, throw a couple bucks at it. Why not?
He said he has been playing better. It's more about Jersey on It's more about Jersey on left defense, so he can play better.
Yeah, and Russ, like we talked about last night, I think that's a big reason why, like Bryant Clark, there's just no spot. Because even if, say, Walker moves out, Jersey, you would have to imagine, moves to the right, and Clark still doesn't have a spot. I don't know. I mean, that we'll see. Yeah, CJ
is he's wondering where Randon is at.
Get these two guys out of here.
Randon is showing up. He's just getting off work. He's excited to be a part of this fun watch party too. Dude, Alex Edler, game 999. Look at the journeyman go.
There we go. What do you think about these Colorado reverse retros? I don't know if you saw them there in the warm up. Yeah, I like them. They're nice. A little throwback.
I saw the Coyotes ones in Arizona, and meh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Orange. I'm never a fan of orange in uniforms. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've grown up a Kings fan and the Ducks wear orange all the time. I don't know. But it's just they're weird. I don't know. It's cool, I guess. Like, I mean, they already brought back the Kachina jersey, so like what else are they gonna do?
Right. Yeah.
I am curious to see these. I mean, it's hard to not be biased, but the Kings reverse retros are probably the best. They're so
good, and they have to look even better in person
with the purple pants. Like it's everything about them. I have my window open, so can you hear any background noise?
There's a little traffic, but it doesn't bother me any. But I don't know if it bothers the folks.
So it gets a little warm in here. I want to, I get a little sweaty watching these games. I gotta keep the airflow going.
So Carter Scores, just put that one up there if you could, Russ, about the Kachina. I used to think that, like in the original, when they first had it, I was like, this is kind of I don't like this at all. But since they've gone back to it, I'm like, you know what? I actually kind of like it. I don't know what you think, Russ.
I don't know. So I love those jerseys. I don't really like them as primary jerseys. I don't know why. I feel like they've got more of like a special, like show up every once in a while kind of aspect to them as opposed to every game. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little too critical. Kings have played. All right, looks like we got Max wants to hop in here. Russell, you brought it up at the end of the Twitter space the other night. The Kings have played 5 more games than the Kraken at this point. Is having more games to make up later tax the team more? Dude, it's funny that you mentioned that, Max. I was actually looking at that the other day, and I was like, I don't know. Like, it's weird that the Kraken had only played 32 games and the Kings were at 38, I believe, or 37 at the time.
Yeah. At the time, probably 37.
Yeah, and like I was even looking forward. I didn't even really see that many back-to-backs on their schedule. So I don't know if it's eventually going to catch up to them. I mean, you would hope the Kings would get a little bit more of a break, really, because it's just been nonstop for them, especially traveling. I don't know. It's hard because it's just like you don't want it to be an excuse, right?
Right. No, at quick glance, Russ, it looks like Seattle has 4 back-to-backs upcoming. I don't know how that compares to LA, and I don't know enough. I didn't look too in depth to see how much travel, but what you're probably going to get more of those 3 and 5 nights, 4 and 6 nights that, over time it'll probably wear a little bit, but I think a team like the Kraken, that relies solely, they're a depth type of team. They don't rely on like, they're not going to lean too heavily on like a certain line or a certain couple of guys. They're a team that's going to go with depth. So I think it'll probably, let me put it this way, in my opinion, it'll help the Kings to have this kind of expected and maybe a little bit extra time off here over the next couple of months. Then it will hurt the Kraken. Like, I don't think it's going to be a huge detriment to the Kraken.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit easier to travel. I say this is like I'm not playing the game or part of the team, but I feel like it's a little bit easier to travel nowadays than it probably was in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're not at home sleeping in your own bed, like doing your same routine that you're probably used to. But I mean, there are times like, remember just at the beginning of this year, I think their first 2 games, I think they dropped the first 2 games. They dropped the Vegas game for sure, and then the second game against Seattle, yeah. And then they went on the road. And everybody was kind of saying like, oh, maybe it's good for them just kind of get on the road, get away, and try to think about just everything, or just hockey, right? Just get away from everything that's going on. And so I think there can be some help. I'm kind of just talking more about road games as opposed, because that's kind of what the Kings have been doing. They've just been traveling and dealing with a ton of road games so far. So I don't know. Those long road trips need to come at the right time. And that 6-game road trip for the Kings came at a terrible time. I felt like they were playing horrible.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you have to jump on the road, and it was kind of like, oh man, and everything was looking bad all throughout. And then they ended it well with Boston.
I'll say this: looking at now I haven't looked at the Kings to be fair, but if you're looking at schedules, I'll tell you. So the Kraken's April schedule, they play the Kings on April 1st, but then they've got the Coyotes 3 times in April, the Blackhawks once, and the Canucks once. So they do have the Kings, and then they end with back-to-back against the Golden Knights. So they've got 3 tough ones, but they've got 5 games that they would definitely be favored in. So we'll see. We'll see how crucial those games are down the stretch. I don't think Seattle's going anywhere. I think they're in this for the long run, at least in the hunt. Like, I don't know, they're going to be division contenders and
wild card spot for sure.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're going to be 2-3.
I don't sleep on the Flames. I think they're coming. I don't know if there's enough. I think Vegas's lead might be too much on them, but I think the Flames. I think they're
Seattle's kind of falling apart. Like 3-6-1 in their last 10.
Yeah. Well, so they were getting really good goaltending at the start of the year, and I don't know that that's continued. And I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah, because they signed Grubauer to that contract. Jesus.
And listen, Martin Jones wasn't going to keep that up. He was great early in the season,
especially against that game against Kings. Well, dude, how many former Kings have performed so well this year against the Kings? Just, I mean, I guess probably recency bias with McNabb and Amadio, but it just feels like every time we get a former King playing against LA that they end up scoring or playing miraculous in net. So Eric Johnson is playing tonight.
Okay.
I'm looking at I guess I can put these up here. Sorry, guys. I'm not Randon, all right? Our host isn't here. I can't. There's a lot going on. He makes the big bucks. I don't. Dude, it's crazy watching or seeing these Avs lineup, and I mean, no McKinnon, no Landeskog,
Nichushkin.
Nichushkin's out. believe they are practicing with the team. So, but yeah, when you have that
McKinnon is, but Nichushkin's out. He re-injured his ankle. He could be out for quite a while.
It's a big loss. I thought Burakovsky over the offseason was a huge loss. I thought that was actually probably just as big a loss as Kadri. Because Kadri's good. Burakovsky was a menace in the playoffs.
He was, but I do think they've still struggled to replace that 2C. I think that has been a tough one, in part because of all the injuries. That hasn't helped things either. But yeah.
Avs looked a lot like the 2015 Kings. Oof. Don't remind me. It's pretty disappointing. It was a fun stretch, though, 2012, 2014.
Oh, man.
So it's funny. So 2013 series when they lost to Chicago, I was in Vegas, and I was doing, like, I think I was there for a birthday party, so didn't get to see the game, the last game, or I saw parts of it. It's a little disappointing because I wanted to watch the game, of course, but helping out a buddy doing his birthday party, we were having a blast. So we just happened to have time, and I stopped at the Caesar Sportsbook and was watching the game. And there's actually a lot of people there watching the hockey game. It was actually pretty cool. A lot of Blackhawks fans, and they were making a ton of noise. And I'd been drinking, tossing a few back already, and so I'm up there like, yeah, Kings, let's go, like making as much noise. And when Mike Richards scored that goal to tie it, to send it to overtime, I was going crazy in that sports book, just all in Chicago Blackhawks fans, like, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're doing this again, repeat, let's go. And then sure enough, I left and I checked my phone, and I think it was Duncan Keith that ended our hopes and dreams. So, but I always have that moment. I always have that moment. Goal. That tying goal. I didn't have high hopes for that series. The Chicago was just so good, but that was a fun little stretch. Or we got back at them next year, I guess.
Mm-hmm. No, that was that. You're right, though. I think it was Patrick Kane that ended the series.
Okay, it was Kane.
Remember, he did. It was a 2-on-1, and
Carter scores. Remembers.
Yep, and he did he slid on his knees and did the or whatever.
Yeah, I saw the highlight. I wasn't watching it live, but it's all right. I wouldn't trade 2014 for the world. One of the best stretches of playoff hockey. I don't know if any team will ever have a stretch like that.
The Blackhawks?
No, that 2014 Kings team.
Oh, for
those playoff series. I mean,
well, the 2012 Kings, the way they just rummaged through the playoffs was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. It's like I was watching these games, like expecting them to win. They were playing so well. Yeah. 2014, I was having a heart attack every night.
Yes, 14 was a freaking heart attack every game, every series. It was not wasn't fun. Like we probably had years taken off our life watching that series, but the 12 was just ran.
Game 7 against the Blackhawks was a full season just of up and down hockey. Like that series in itself has to be up there with one of the best NHL playoff series of all time.
100%. And I obviously we're biased, but I honestly think Blackhawks fans would, as they take a step back, would agree with that, how good that series was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to throw this out there as we wait for the game to start. Because you guys know, Russ, I'm in Western New York. So I'm kind of always tend to be following some Sabres stuff. Lawrence Pilot was put on waivers by the Buffalo Sabres. He is a smallish, modern-day left shot defenseman. I don't expect the Kings to be putting in a claim on him, but I've loved this kid for years. He was with the Sabres years ago. Then kind of an organizational regime change. He went over to the KHL, played over there, and now he came back this year. He's played here in Rochester in the AHL, and then he's been a bit in Buffalo, and just due to some roster numbers, he was put on waivers. So just like I'll just hold out hope that there's a claim put in for Lawrence Pilot from the LA Kings. That's all I'll say. Shifty little smooth skating left shot defenseman.
I don't know. It's weird, right? Because I'm not too upset with the Kings lineup right now, but I don't know. Thinking back to Arizona, you have 5 right-handed defensemen in the lineup at a night. It's like why isn't Morviari on the roster? Where's Bjornfoot?
Yeah,
Just in case. I mean, just to have any left shot defenseman, right?
So
And
to that point, Russ, I am more on the train of, and they don't even have to get rid of Sean Walker. He could be your 7th defenseman. Just put in Bjornfot or Moverari, slide Dursey to the right, and just play that way, and then spot in. Now, if Dursey's playing the left side every now and then, okay. It's just that it's every night, and then when you do bring somebody else in, you're playing 5 right shot D. It's just like, it just is a little tough. It's just
well,
tough.
Especially because you're like they've talked about how they want to platoon Edler. So if you're going to platoon Edler,
that's what I'm saying.
Why don't you have a left shot defenseman who can platoon for him? That's the frustrating part. Like you already have Dursey playing the left side, so now you're going to have another right shot in the lineup when you probably know you're going to be sitting Edler at times. I don't know. I guess this is a bigger question to see how comfortable Rob Blake is with playing defensemen on their offside, because apparently he's way more comfortable than probably we are, and because just based off the roster decisions this season. So
I think Dursey,
they're winning games though.
Yeah, and I think Dursey's play, like, he catches a lot of heat, but let's be honest, Dursey's going to catch a lot of heat if he's on the left or the right because of the way he plays. He plays that style. He's a risky player. He's still learning kind of when to, get back and forth into these things. So, I don't know if that's my mic making that noise or what, but.
Is that your stomach? You hungry?
I don't know.
Some Italian in you?
No, but I think that's part of the reason is they've been able to win games, and Dursey's played well enough on that side that I think that's why they've kind of made it not a priority, at least in the immediate, to rush out and go get a lefty. Or to your point, play, Bjornfot or Moverari.
Yeah. Where are you at in your stream? They just came back from commercial for me.
I'm still at a commercial.
Okay. I'm looking at Bally. Do you watch it on ESPN Plus?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at Patrick and Stoley in the studio.
I'm looking at a T-Mobile commercial.
If they can contain Makar tonight, I think they have a really good shot. Makar is obviously going to be their play driver for everything.
There's O'Neill and Stoley.
Stay out of the penalty box.
That's what I was just going to say. You got to stay out of the box. They got a very good power play. Obviously, they still have Mikko Rantanen as a stud. Obviously, Makar is going to be lethal on the power play. That's going to be the kicker. They got to play this game 5-on-5.
Carter, I totally agree with you. I would trade the whole team from Cam Makar. I think he's that good. My buddy's an Avs fan, and I told him we're going to trade everything. We're going to give the Wade and Gretzky package for Makar. All right, looks like they're just about to do the national anthems. No, or they just did them?
They probably just did them. I don't know that they would.
I might be behind you a little bit.
No, you're ahead of me. You're ahead of me.
Yeah, it looks like they're about to drop the puck.
I'm at where you are when they showed the teams on the blue line for the anthem, the end of the anthem. That's where I'm at.
Perfect. Okay.
So
sounds good.
You, but that's okay. Carter Scores is way ahead of us. Yeah, we're the last people, Russ, on our stream. Hey, fellas,
It's all good. It's all good.
I don't live out there, so there's no shot at me getting Bally Sports West out here. The best I got is ESPN Plus.
Okay, yeah, we're underway. About 10 seconds into the game.
My puck is just dropping.
Okay, I'm gonna pause a little bit then for you.
Where'd you pause it? What's the time on the clock?
We're figuring this out, folks. You still cruising along there? What time you at?
19, 28, 27, 26.
Okay, 1914. That's where I'm at.
I'm at 1915 right now, so yeah, we're just a second.
Perfect.
So I did the Byfield touches again, Russ, and again, he only had his minutes were short, but again, it's a lot of perimeter. I want to see him more in the center of the ice.
Mm-hmm.
He's involved in the D zone behind the net a lot, like helping out, which is good as a center for support, but I just want to see him a little bit more assertive and getting that puck kind of between the dots a bit more in all three zones, frankly. So that's what I'm looking for tonight from him.
Let's go, Blake. All right, my stream refreshed. I'm at 17:30. I think I'm a little ahead of you.
Now you're way ahead of me.
Okay, I'm going to back it up a couple seconds.
I'm at 1840.
All right, I'm at 1837.
32, 31. You're at 37.
Yep. My buddy's in the chat. He said, "Go Avs."
I like what Hickson Hockey said. Go away.
Attaboy, yeah. Give him some chirp. I love it. These Avs reverse retros, they're all right.
Yeah,
I'm not like they don't wow me, but
it's like
they're not
clashing.
terrible.
It's like clashing for me. It's got too much of the modern on the shoulders, and then it's all over the place. The rest of it, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't like it.
Curtis McDermott's playing.
Why?
Because they got no one else.
That's true.
Dude, he's playing. Is he playing? He's playing forward.
It looks like it.
Yeah. Let that big guy get up the ice. It's got to get deep, Kapari. Byfield just needs to keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Dump pucks in, chase the puck, use the body, use the speed, get it done. Like I don't need to see him sprinting up ice. Just get the red line, get it deep.
There was a play. So I'm at 1708 here, and there's a stoppage, and there was a play that Grunstrom got the puck on the wall, and Byfield was there for a second, and then he just skated up through to the neutral zone, and so he was now no longer an option, and Grunstrom has nowhere to go with it. Yeah. And I mean, maybe the Kings want him to do that, but I doubt it. It's like, be that guy, be that support guy, be there for them to give you the puck and demand that puck on the breakout. And Grunstrom only had it for a second, and Byfield left him, and he just left him there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Byfield needs to be like, come get the puck, come want the puck on your stick.
Yes,
that's what Stennerman should do, right? You need to be available, especially in the defensive zone. I think I've noticed that at times too. I appreciate that, Carter, by the way.
Attaboy, Carter.
just make yourself available in the defensive zone if you're a centerman, and I feel like we haven't really seen that much from Byfield.
And again, I try to like look at the way Anze Kopitar usually where he collects pucks on breakouts. He is the focal point. That's where the defensemen want to feed him the puck if they can on the breakouts.
Iafallo's been a demon lately. I'm just loving it. Penalty. Here we go. Harvey making things happen. Holding call. Oh, maybe I should put. Hold on. Let's update these banners. Look at this. Hey.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, power play
score down there. Harvey sold that one pretty well. All right, let's see who they start with. Copy line.
The Sabres better not blow this, by the way. Real quick.
Tell me you have money on the game without telling me you have money on the game.
Tell me it was 5-0 and now it's 5-3.
Who they playing?
Detroit, who just did this last night to Pittsburgh.
Yikes.
All right, let's
Buffalo figured it out.
Let's get one on the power play here.
You're at like 130 on the power play, right?
145 for me.
Okay. Oof. That didn't look offside. Clellan rocking the purple. Like it. Purple plaid. Solid purple tie.
For those that don't listen, I thought it was a pretty insightful and the 32 Thoughts with the podcast with Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick. They just had Todd McClellan on a couple of weeks ago, and I would highly recommend that. They had to sit down. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. Like he's, I just think it's a nice chat and kind of insightful look into, what a coach is kind of thinking about and where a little bit more about Todd McClellan. I thought it was a good listen for those that if you didn't catch it.
They got into the goaltending a little bit too on that interview, which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. They did.
There you go, Kempe. Just hold on. I can see the. Oh no, Dursey, don't give me a heart attack now, Durs. Man, these penalty killers are aggressive. Oof.
I like Byfield getting some looks though on the power play. I like that.
Makes stuff happen. They got a scoring chance there.
Yeah. It's good to see a healthy Iafallo. He's playing well.
Dude,
he's playing really well.
He was one of the best players on the team the start of the year last year. Copley's looking solid already. Yeah, that is kind of the PK problem. It seems like they're letting the top guys do whatever they want. Notice some good penalty kills are always really aggressive on the point man, and and that's what I've kind of hoped that the Kings can figure out because they obviously have the players that can do that. I mean, you have Trevor Moore, Iafallo, Arvidsson is a pretty good penalty killer.
Yeah, the tough part is as long as you have to be disciplined that you don't allow that cross seam pass if the D-man goes down through, because most of these guys are running a 1-3-1. So, but yeah, I agree. Like if you can put pressure on the opponent, that's what I tend to be a fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
Although, again, I don't know. Like if you get a fully healthy Colorado or you're playing Boston or you're playing Edmonton, that may not be the way to go because it could just open up too many avenues.
Brandon, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Just catching this game.
Can you guys hear me and everything?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you're sounding great.
Cool. I don't do many pods from the couch, so.
Hey, get comfortable, buddy. We got a game here.
And I'm gonna pour myself a beverage here. In a
Oh, there you
second.
go. God, Fiala is so good.
I'm on commercial break.
Yeah, we might be a little behind. Carter scores is ruining the score for us. I'm just kidding, Carter. I know you're not. Get a stick on that. There you go, Royce. All right, I think I'm on commercial break now too.
I'm almost there.
I'm gonna be the one ruining the score for everybody.
Probably.
Are you guys watching on ESPN Plus as well?
Yes.
All right. Cool. I'll be back. I'm gonna get some beverages.
Ooh. See, Carter wants to know what you're drinking.
I bought some Japanese whiskey, so some Hawaii 45 or a little thing called Lucky Cat. So they do a like once off every year. That's like kind of like a homage to all the cats that are in the distillery that hunt all the mice and stuff like that for all the grain.
Huh.
So cool. This one's called Lucy. So it's good. It's Irish whiskey, or not Irish, but Japanese, which I really like. So
nice. Sounds tasty.
It is tasty. All right. So yeah, they're back on my end. I know.
I'm still in commercial.
Yeah, same.
We're on the Pacific. Vancouver leading Winnipeg 1-0.
Yeah, Carter, it's delicious.
Why wouldn't Arizona be winning 1-0 against Toronto as they have one shot on goal?
Hey, Arizona at home's not bad. They're not a bad team at home. They looked pretty good that game. I don't know if it's the Kings just kind of struggling a little bit, but I don't know. Arizona could probably find some enthusiasm playing in front of that crowd in that arena.
Well, I've had about enough of it.
Totally over it. Oh man, there's probably so many Maple Leafs fans packing that.
Oh my God! You just said on the pod like you wonder what it'd be like with Chicago and Toronto in there. I wonder what that's like tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because I mean there was a handful of Kings fans there and they packed it pretty good, but you get a team like Toronto, especially when I lived in Arizona, like you get a lot of people moving down there from Canada during the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe that.
It's actually some really good hockey. Some of the best hockey I've ever played, like pickup hockey, is played around that time.
I've heard nothing about like how much it's grown. Like there's rinks all over the place down there, I guess. Like they've really like it's I guess it's accomplished what it was maybe I don't know, meant for, like growing the game in Arizona. It's growing, is it not? I mean,
yeah. They had high school hockey in Arizona before they did in Southern California.
Really? Well, if I knew that.
Ooh. Oh man, I think I just missed something. You might have to tell me what happened. Because I see something.
Definitely something in the chat has happened.
Yeah, something has happened. Oh, yeah. Just saw the replay. Let's go. I don't want to ruin it for you.
That's all right. I still haven't seen it. I still haven't caught up.
Joe is so far behind.
I'm light years behind.
Yeah. You can tell in the chat, Volardi just snizzed one.
Let's see. It's coming right now, I think. Zipper. Yep. Nice job, Anderson Dolan.
Sneaky good play from Anderson Dolan.
Yeah. Again, just jack of all trades kind of guy.
Goal!
Geez, Brandon, you're so far behind.
Look at that. Breaking her in for tonight, huh?
Perfect. Hey, who's got control of the? Somebody update the score on the.
Oh yeah, huh? Sorry.
Let's go here. Who is that? All? Did they try to challenge this?
No.
Okay.
No, they're playing. So I'm doing the 45 this year, everybody. So everybody in the chat, that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm
Gabe
rocking
is
with.
at 16 goals. Remember all the talk we had about Gabe Velarde, like at the beginning of the year, thinking like, oh, this is going to be make or break for him, and now all of a sudden, 16 goals on the year already, but not even halfway through, on pace for 30.
Would you look at that? Who would have thunk? Not I. Not I.
Yeah, if you had told me Gabe Velarde's leading the team halfway through the season, I would have said you're crazy. Jernerson Dolan, though, yeah, he has been really good lately. Let's give that man some of his props because
he's the perfect 13th forward to have on your roster. Like that's Randon knows I raved about him last year in Ontario. Like he's the perfect guy. You need him to play center for a game, he can play center for a game. You need to play the wing, you can play second line, fourth line, wherever you need
it's like
him.
Trevor Lewis, kind of like a Trevor Lewis kind of.
Yeah.
Is my volume too high for you guys?
No, we can't hear. I can't hear your TV.
Cool.
Ooh, I just saw the Byfield clip. By the way, whoever mentioned that.
What time are you at on the clock there, Joe?
10:25.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm at 9:17.
Jesus. Don't worry about me, guys. I'll catch up.
Maybe log back out and log in, or like go out and go back in during the commercial break.
Yeah, because didn't you paused yours to catch up to me,
Russ?
but now I'm. Yeah, I think you're.
Yeah.
You can fast forward. Come on, Joe.
Idiot.
You are one pathetic loser.
Let's see, what am I at now? Now I'm at 8.
Everyone's giving their times. I love it.
8:40.
Yeah, 8:36.
Okay, yeah. Look at that. We made it happen.
Fast forward. Who would have thought?
It's kind of been like a not a lot of offensive zone time, just kind of back and forth kind of game so far. But
This is a good road period for the Kings. They're not allowing much. Playing the 1-3-1. This is what you want to do on the road. Good against a good team. Like this is the type of stuff you want. I'm okay with. I don't want to see this against Arizona. I want to see this type of performance in Colorado. Kiffin.
all right, I can hear your TV quite a bit on the commercial there, Brandon.
Okay.
What's up, Einstein?
Kiffin, legit. That's really funny. I was dying at that.
Carter, game over. Kings won. Man, we are so far behind. I'm at the end. 3-2 final. Love it.
Just so everybody is aware, Tim Stützle has another goal today. Just
Hey, come on
mentioning
now.
for no reason whatsoever.
Hey, Lafreniere scratched today?
Yeah.
Was he
Wow. Yeah, healthy scratch today.
Talk about
So somebody proposed this on Twitter. Would you go straight up Byfield for Lafreniere trade right now?
No,
absolutely not.
no.
Because
Why?
what is Lafreniere? Lafreniere's already up to 100 games played in the NHL? He's close to it.
Yeah. He's still struggling to find his way.
He's still struggling, yeah.
I would rather let Byfield continue to struggle to find his way.
And the thing with Lafreniere, people like expected Lafreniere to step in and be like Tim Stützle, what we're seeing from Stützle, and he hasn't even come close to that yet. I think he's scoring, but he's not putting up the Stützle numbers like that. I think that debate needs to happen more. Like with Byfield, everybody expected Byfield to be a project. Nobody said Byfield was going to step in 1 and 2 years and be an immediate star. Like everyone said, like young kid, big body. That's something he's gonna have to get used to. But with Stützle and Lafreniere, like both of those players were kind of expected to come in and be good already. And we've seen Stützle be pretty good. I mean, they're not really winning, but he's playing pretty well. But Lafreniere, he's on a good team and he's still not playing that well.
And hey, let's not Capo Caco is another.
I know. Oh,
like he's another
dude,
one that is
Chad is money right now. He's feeling it.
Oh,
I like this. I like this Lazat Jad Velarde line. They're looking pretty good so far.
Because anything Lazat touches, Russ turns to gold.
He's got that Midas touch. We're calling him Midas now. Oh man, just hounds on the puck to Noah Arvidsson. Lose the puck in the offensive zone before the team could even get over the blue line. They're already back right on you.
So if we're in a playoff series, I want, like, again, if you're matching with Edmonton again, I want Deneau and Iafallo together against McDavid in that line. And I want Mikey Anderson matched against that line. Like, that's probably the best you can ask for if you're a Kings fan trying to shut down Connor McDavid and the Oilers is that. Because you're right, the puck hounds, all three of them, that line. And then that's your best chance at like a defensive shutdown line. Yeah, fellas, John's a player. CJ, yeah, he's big fan. And again, Randon, we saw this last year. Like, you guys, for those that didn't watch the Rain last year, Anderson Dolan was like, I don't want to understate. He was really freaking good on the power play last year too. Like, he's a sneaky good player, like skill player too.
Wasn't he leading the team in goals for a little while there too?
He was.
Or power play goals?
Yeah. He was so smart. I'm telling you, he was so smart. Down low, behind the goal line, when to come out front. He and Jordan Spence, he probably had 3 tip-in goals solely from Spence shots.
I would say outside of the obvious players of Tynan and Furk, he was the best power play weapon that we had all year.
Jod?
Yeah.
I would say Spence and then Jod.
Ooh.
Spence, Furk, Jod is how I would. Well, and it's tough to like Tynan too, but to your point, like, it was really good.
I just said outside of the 2 major ones of Furk and Tynan, I would put Jod as the.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, he was really good.
I do kind of like these jerseys. I don't know about the socks though with the jersey that C though.
I was wrong. It looked darker on the TV, the shoulders, that as if it was their current. It's not. But I'm not the one to ask with colors. What do I know?
Is Kupari part of the Finnish mafia with that chain?
I like his drip. I think it's all right. I'm gonna see him play a little bit bigger.
He needs to have a heavier chain if he's going to play.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He
needs to have that. He needs to have the NFL wide receiver type chain to play with the big boys.
To that point, Russ, like, he's still a little too easily pushed off the puck.
Yeah. We're hemmed in a little bit here. Haven't really seen much from Byfield so far. That line.
Nope.
Still early.
I do like Byfield with Kupari though. They played a little bit with each other.
God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I want to like it in theory, Randon.
Between the Blues, there. I mean, the transition game should be excellent with them because they both can carry the puck.
You would think, but there's something's not clicking there, and I think it probably has to happen right now just because they got the 2 pretty key injuries. But when they get healthy, I'd like to see this split up.
Edler, you madman, chill out. going a little crazy there.
Oh, there we go. Nice poke.
Whoa.
Was that what you're talking about, Russ? That poke?
Yeah, flopping in the wind. He thought he was Alex Kovalev with that.
All right, let's do a little quiz here. Not quiz, but a little question.
And they're looking at Prime Gretzky. Yeah, exactly, Jack.
What outside of the top 10 picks of Turcotte, Byfield, and Clark, which prospect do you most want to make it? Do you have the most feels for?
Oh man.
And you're talking
not that you think will make it, but you personally have the feels for that you're rooting for.
I have 3 of those. I think my big one is
you love
who I think will make it. That's one of them. It's LaFerriere, dude. I've seen him play and he's so good. It's hard to really be specific about what he brings to the ice, but you just watch him play and he's just a menace up and down. So he's looking pretty good with Harvard too. Yeah, I do like
going wild. We got Turcotte's, we got Fagimos. I said outside the top 10 picks, but Bjornfoot, Spence. There you go.
There's a couple for me. One forward, one forward. I'll have one forward and one D. Akil Thomas is the forward for me, in part because, man, this is a player. This is a NHL caliber talent that unfortunately just can't stay on the ice. Really good on the power play, can kill penalties, can play center, can play the wing. You see what Jod's doing. I think Akil Thomas ratchets that up another level and can be a consistent third line player in the league. But it's just the poor kid can't stay healthy. On the back end, it's Helge Grans. And to be fair, I haven't seen enough of the rain this season to really have a good feel for
I haven't really heard much about him, yeah.
Which I don't know if that's good or bad. But that said, at the start of last season, he was really good. I didn't think he kind of plateaued a bit toward the second half, but even still, I figured he was probably another couple of years away. Very raw, good size, good raw talent, but it was going to take a few years to really, really establish himself. But I still think he's got the ceiling of a second pair top 4 defenseman.
Carter Scores coming in with Villalta. Is that just because the recent goalie woes, or did you like our interview with the netminder there, Carter Scores? Maybe elaborate there. I think the reason I brought that up is because I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for Kupari. I just like the way he plays, and when you see him dominate with his skating, it's just super beautiful to watch. And I really want him to catch on. And I don't know if it's going to be a Kempe style trajectory where it's really just going to take a long time for his skating to be that dominant, or if he'll ever get it. But that's the
thing that's crazy about Kupari too is he was considered one of the better skaters in his draft, and we really haven't even seen that. I don't know, you get flashes, but he's not tearing it up and down the ice.
What I have
he doesn't only his best skill. His best skill is skating. He doesn't use it enough.
He's a smooth skater, but what I haven't seen is that explosiveness, that makes sense. That separation type.
He's going to grab the puck from a standstill position and just blow right by you,
which we've seen Kempe do. Where Kupari, when he has open ice, boy, he's going to look as pretty as anybody skating up and down because he's so free flowing and smooth. But I don't know that he has that. I don't want to say extra gear, but that breakaway speed, that pull away, and that power in his stride that he may need to separate himself.
Holden comes in. Pinelli has been a beast this year, almost a goal per game. We talked about that on the pod yesterday.
More Italians.
And then Carter Score says, no, I actually want to see him make it. He works hard. He's finally looking good out there. It's unfortunate that that his starts have been taken away because of Cal, but wants him to make it. I like it.
It's fair. Good kid. Great attitude.
Great interview too. If if anybody in the chat didn't go and listen to that last year, it's still up on our YouTube.
And
check it out.
Brandon, genuinely nice kid. He spent a few minutes before that pod talking to us, asking us where we're from, all that stuff. A genuinely good dude. So
asking about our fandom a little bit, and
easy kid to root for. And happy to see he's having a good season.
It's been an even game, shots wise.
The score says otherwise there, Russ.
This is a great. Like I said,
Yeah, I'm glad we're winning that.
I'm really happy with this first period right now. Like it's nothing sexy, but this is how
Keeping the crowd out of it.
Yep, this is how the Kings. This is how I want the Kings to play on the road in a tough place like Colorado. Like it's a.
Oh, nice hit.
Looking at the five
call
on five attempts so far, they're down. It's 16-15 abs, so it's within one. Like
blood on the ice.
Ooh. Oh.
Where was the penalty? The call wasn't on the Fiala hit.
Kiffin coming in. That interview is what made me follow Hockey Royalty before he came on.
Well, thanks,
Kiffin.
Jeff.
Appreciate
I
it.
didn't know that.
Fiala got the gate for that?
I got to see this again.
That was shoulder to shoulder.
I think it was where the puck was.
That Fiala hit was way worse than.
Oh, yeah. He didn't touch it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad hit.
Fiala doesn't even know he doesn't even have the puck yet. Oof. Lucky it's only two.
So for me,
Yeah.
Joe, maybe for the layman here, why is that a penalty? Why is that boarding?
Well,
They called boarding? They did call boarding.
Yeah, well, so it's all numbers. He's got him from the back, and New Hook was in a kind of a vulnerable spot. He was kind of searching for the puck. Didn't quite, as Russ mentioned, didn't really have possession of the puck, so that also doesn't help things. So the combination of him not having possession of the puck, him in a vulnerable spot, and really Fiala drilling him in the back. It's all numbers there. Like that's.
I don't know if I agree with the boarding call there. I agree with interference. That's definitely interference.
I'd have given. I'm okay with the boarding call there. That.
I thought the hit was shoulder to shoulder, but I mean,
it's tough. It was like around his back shoulder. I don't know. Yeah, you could have gone either way. It's a penalty for sure.
He's like raising a bunch of ninnies.
He's like a foot off the board. Hey, Mike from Earth. No, good shout, Mike from Earth. Randy, I don't know if you want to throw that last one up. It's something that we got to, yeah,
we need to get back on that.
Yep,
we've kind of neglected that a little bit.
For sure, yeah. Noted.
We're doing everything we can, Mike. All right.
Noted.
Just give us a chance here.
Mike, if you have an investor that lined up that we should do this full time.
Yeah,
I'll post on Discord every 15 seconds if you'd like.
I am more than happy to do so.
Sponsors in here. We are brought to you by the law firm of.
So Carter coming in here. I like this. Thank you for the kind comment. Hockey Royalty actually listens to the fans and lets them get involved consistently. You guys value everyone's opinion and are willing to have discussions with all. That's why I love Hockey Royalty. Well, thanks, Carter. We always appreciate you in the chat.
That's the goal. Yep. That's the entire goal with all this is that I didn't know. I've said this before. I didn't know a lot of hockey fans growing up. So this was how I watched games, just by myself, just not being able to talk to anybody.
Russ, like this is how I watch Kings games by myself because
exactly. Like
out here, I don't have this. Doesn't exist out here. So it's nice to have this community.
Even when you want to go to like in Southern California too, you wanted to go to a bar to watch a hockey game. Good luck with that if the Lakers are on.
So what is that like, by the way? Is that you're not seeing the Kings game?
Oh, the Kings don't even exist.
Really? Okay.
Oh, if it was anybody but Mikey Anderson, that's a goal right there.
Oh, I think you got a stick on that. Still a nice rush on the penalty kill.
I go to a local bar out here. They have like 180 TVs, and they'll put any game on you want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's no shortage of finding hockey out here. That's for sure.
Dude, I saw some videos of there, Joe. Speaking of Buffalo, there was like during that storm, like houses with a foot of ice just like caked on all of it.
My sister lives in Orchard Park, and they were supposed to come in for Christmas and no go. Like they couldn't leave. Luckily, nothing severe happened to them, but they got buried with snow and ice and whatnot. They just had the driving ban lifted today, so it's been really bad in Buffalo.
All right, boys, 1-0. I like it.
Here we go. They're hemmed in a little bit there at the end, but keep everything to the outside. That's kind of what they've been doing the last couple games, right? They're giving the offensive zone time to their team, but they're not allowing anybody to beat them on the inside. They're showing the replay right here. This is the breakout. Look at Doughty driving the net on the penalty kill. It's a little dangerous.
Love it though.
No, yeah, you do like it.
Let's like that. Let's go. If you got your horse, like, get after it. Enough of you know why you got Phoenix. Who said it in the chat, which was incredible, by the way. I hadn't heard this. You have Phoenix Stopley in that, so just go. He's fine.
Who assisted Velarde's goal?
Mikey and Jad.
Was it Mikey? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was.
They got the points on the goal. You wanna.
Good news for Pacific Division Kings fans. Winnipeg has taken a 2-1 lead over Vancouver. Not that Vancouver is overly threatening, but they're getting a little better lately.
It's great period. I mean, from a Kings Road standpoint, right?
For sure. Nope. I completely agree, Russ. I
shots
think
to 12-7.
It's the type of road period that you want on a again. And I know this is not the same Colorado team because of all the injuries, but this is still a team that is a good team and a dangerous team. You're in their building. It's a quick road trip. You're going back to LA. Like, let's get out of this first period in good shape, and they did that.
Yeah, I like it. This is, and no offense to Colorado, this is a team. This is a game we should win. Like, they have an all-star team injured right now. Like, we should win this game.
They do, but we got a couple of key guys too. The Kings do with Trevor Moore, and I know it's not to those levels. Don't get me wrong, but
also the Kings haven't won in Colorado since.
They said 9 straight.
Christ was a baby.
No, it's been five straight. They won.
No, it said 9. 15th. They said 9 on the telecast. So unless they were wrong,
it's.
Was
they
that
may have
overall?
lost 9 straight overall. I'm sorry. I'm looking at just in Colorado.
Oh, okay. When's the last time we won? During the outdoor game?
Actually, I think it was the outdoor game in Colorado. Yeah, 3-1, February 15th.
So this is what I like to see.
Boys Hattie.
And you were just talking about this, Russ. 1 high danger chance against 5-on-5.
5-on-5.
Yep, that's
Only 1 high danger chance for, but
Carter's scores is saying Stopley's been going around Twitter for a bit now. Where you been, Joe? Like, get
lost
with it,
apparently. Lost. Yeah, like that's okay, right? The 1 chance for and scoring chances in general were 6-6. This is all per natural stat trick. I'm okay with that first period. I'm okay with that.
So the big thing is QB in the doghouse, or is he? Did we see him again? I wasn't really paying attention for that.
So good question. He did get clipped.
They only have him at 51 seconds of 5-on-5 time.
He got dinged. And I don't know, to your question, Randa, if he came back after that. Ooh. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Shift charts.
Gosh, the guy can't catch a freaking break if he's injured again.
Seriously.
Oh, wow. Byfield did not have a shift. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
After the 56 mark, and Kupari had – neither did Grunstrom. But Kupari took another shift, but Byfield didn't.
Let's see.
Yeah, Byfield only had 3 shifts.
Is Colorado running 10-8 tonight?
No, why? McDermott?
No, because it was hard to hear like on the drive home, and they're like, "Oh, well, they're essentially running 3 lines with extra defensemen."
No,
so
I think
thought it was 10-8.
They're 12-6. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're 12-6.
Okay. Is McDermott playing wing?
Yeah, he's on the 4th line.
So we sent this in the group chat today because goalie has been a hot topic for the Kings. U.S. National Development Team Program, Mr. Augustine, their lead goalie is rated with a second to third round value. Should the Kings go in the well again with a goalie early, based on what we've seen this year?
I'm sure we'll see them take another goalie. I don't know how early they'll do it. Well, I'm also curious to see what they do with their draft picks this year. Trades and such, right?
I'd say if they don't trade their
goalie,
first, I think they should go higher pick with a goalie. If they do trade their first, then don't rate, like, it's a volatile pick picking a goalie that early, where you need to replenish your prospect pool a little bit. But
yeah, I'm good taking a goalie anytime in those middle rounds. I mean, second, I'd rather not, but I'm not going to hate the second. I don't prefer the first, but
Kiffin said actually per their roster, Colorado is running 10-8. So they have two defensemen playing wing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we should probably win this game.
But again, I have broken record. The Sabres have two stud college prospects, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who played again today in Buffalo. He's gotten a lot of NHL time now. But the gem in that system is Devin Levi, and he's one of the best goalies in college right now. He's the future. If you can get an Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen or an Eric Portillo, who has yet to sign, and we know the Kings have gone after those guys, those college guys that haven't signed. Like that's I just wouldn't rule something like that out.
One of you boys have a little loud. I can hear it more than normal.
I'm on mute.
That's me.
Now, if there was a stud goalie like the previous seasons, and the Kings had their first round pick, would you take them?
No.
Oh man, it's just
I would.
Wallstead. It's interesting. If you're saying like if there was an Askarov or a Wallstead or a
Spencer Knight,
Casa, and
because we'd be unless we go on a fat run, we're probably drafting anywhere from 18 to 22, right? So that's right around the Wallstead area.
Yeah, you could. I just don't know if there's any. You haven't really heard of any goalies coming in this draft. Like with Wallstead, like everybody knew he was coming in.
Well, yeah, he went pro younger than Victor Hedman.
Yeah, look at Jack Fry, where Levi was selected, and he's one of the best goalies. He's one of the best goalie prospects in hockey. I'm not paying a first.
Yeah, but you keep saying that, but then the last four goalies in the Stanley Cup were all first-round picks last year. So.
Okay, you're right, and that's 1 year. But like, if you were to take a step back and look at the grand picture, like and again, I could be a little too set in my ways here with this, but I just think there's just as many guys that come out of nowhere to make impacts. And if you were to look at the top guys right now
Mike, you are correct by the way. There is no goalies in the top rated. Wheeler and everybody said last year that there isn't any first round goalie talent. Some people say that there isn't even a second round goalie talent. Augustine is second, third for national scouting prospects. He was a B rating, so he'll be in that second, third range. But yeah, no first round picks this year. Go ahead, Joe.
Everybody loves Karel Vejmelka. What round was he drafted in? Was he even drafted?
He's probably the 7th round draft pick, actually.
I'm just saying that's not the norm. Like you shouldn't be in football. You shouldn't be like taking a quarterback every 6th round because Tom Brady.
But the goaltending position is A, it's
Vejmelka was 5th.
It's volatile, and B, I think they take a long time. They generally are going to take some time too. Like, so if you like, we're talking about Wallstead and Askarov.
Yeah, but couldn't you argue the 3 best elite goalies in our era were all first-round picks?
Who are you referring to?
You could do Flower.
Price.
You have Carey Price. You
Price
have
out
Big
there,
Cat. Like
Mhm. I feel like those are like generational goalies, though. I don't know.
that's what I'm saying, though. Like if you take a stab, I'm not saying every first-round goalie is going to be a generational goalie, but generally first-round talents are first-round talents for a reason. And so,
I mean, the reason
I'd have
why
to
I
look
wanted
back.
the Kings, the
I'd
reason
have to
why I
look-
wanted the Kings to draft Wallstedt is because they had every other prospect position filled up, right?
Yeah.
Center position, defenseman, everything you needed, maybe besides a left shot defenseman. So if you have all that already situated, why not just take a chance on a goalie? Like that's what goalie picks are like that in the first round. You're gambling.
I don't want to take
I mean-
that big. I don't want to gamble in the first round. I'd rather
No,
gamble.
it's a
with
huge
silver.
gamble. It's probably a bigger gamble than any other position.
Like, and again, this is, I'm sure Wallstedt's going to be great. Like, don't get me wrong, but he's not doing it in the AHL right now. So, like, my whole thing is all of these goalies, whether you pick them in the first round, the second round, or the fifth round, are probably going to be 2, 3, 4 years away from being like impactful to your NHL roster. Like, Wallstedt's still probably 2 years away at a minimum from being an impactful NHL player.
so you
right?
have, yeah, I mean, maybe next year. I mean, he could
Maybe, but he's trotting a sub 900 in the AHL right now. So
you have, I mean, there's not a lot of first round goalies, so maybe the sample size is
Sure.
not a lot, but like these are the games played for first round goalies all time, right? You have Martin Brodeur. If we can get a first round Martin Brodeur, you're not going to shine at that. Roberto Luongo,
stud.
Marc-Andre Fleury, right? You have Grant Fuhr, Tom Barrasso,
Yep.
Olaf Kolzig,
Kolzig, love Ole the goalie.
Carey Price, Cam Ward, Kari Lettinen,
Love Kari Lettinen.
Jean-Sebastien Guerriere.
Oh, JSG Gare.
Yeah. So I mean, but
Who's the first round pick?
Yeah, the two that are active right now. I mean, Semyon Varlamov has 572 games in the league, and Andrei Vasilevsky is 389.
Vasilevsky's a stud, but Varlamov, like, is he? Do you consider him like he's not even a starting
Top
goalie
tier. He hasn't been
No,
a top tier goalie in his career. I feel
in
like.
his career?
But I'm just
Spencer
saying,
Knight
like,
was a first rounder. Yeah.
yeah, but you have I'm just saying you have a chance there, and I'm not saying like go and like hunt a goalie, right? I think what Russ is the biggest thing about Russ's point was the rest of the prospect pool was taken care of hypothetically.
Yeah.
And the Kings had the chance or the opportunity to take that, right? You look at Minnesota's Wild prospect pool was pretty deep when they went out and got Wallstedt at a discount at 20, right? So
but they got Wallstedt at a discount. Like, if you were to tell me the Kings were going to trade down out of 8 to 20 to pick Wallstedt, I'm way more flexible with that. If you're telling me they're taking Wallstedt at 8, get out of Dodge. I don't want any part of it.
Mhm.
That's where I'm at. So it's all about
That would be the
value.
highest. I don't think a
It's the
goalie's
value
been
of
drafted in the
pick,
top 10
personally.
since Fleury, right?
yeah. Yannetti said they tried to get Wallstedt, but Minnesota wouldn't budge. They tried to get Wallstedt anywhere from 13 to 20 from all the way up till Minnesota's pick. So they were willing to go back into at
Perfect draft.
13 to get him. So he
Right,
was that
and
good
would've
to them.
Perfect
Yeah.
first round draft.
Yep. So, like, if you trade down to do that, I'm fully. I won't. Maybe not fully. Just still depends where. But like, I'm way more on board with that. I would have been. I'd still be twitching if they took him in the top 10.
If Brant Clark
Like,
wasn't
to this
there, I think
day.
they pick him. To be honest with you, I think if Brant Clark wasn't there, I think they pick him because they said Yannetti said they had him high because Brant Clark was rated 3 or 2 on a lot of people's boards. So
Yeah.
if he wasn't
I
there,
think-
I think they take Wallstedt.
You know what I think they would have done? I think they would have traded down, and then
Probably.
and then look to pick him.
If the Sharks if the Sharks took Clark, would you have rather had William?
I would have
Eklund
taken
or
Eklund
Wallstedt.
like that. I would have taken
Yeah.
William Eklund in a heartbeat.
Yep.
One of my top 5 players in that draft. Ken Johnson was my second favorite player in that draft,
Really
and he
like-
went
yeah, I really
like
like him.
5th, I think. I was so mad.
I like him.
So good. He's so good.
Like,
So let's get into that because I think that's a good point here about goalies. Do you think they will be the running backs of the NHL going forward, where
me, they have
nobody will pay anybody long term, or they shouldn't?
I think so. Here's the thing. I think if you can identify the guy, you should pay him long term. Like Vasilevsky is, but he's not the norm. I think it's difficult to identify that guy is where I'm at. Like, I understand the need and the importance for a really, really good, legit number one goaltender. I just think it's really difficult to identify that guy in the early stages of their careers, like when they're in, when they're prospects, when they're pre-draft, when they're first drafted. Like, I just think you see so many of these guys that develop and kind of come out of the quote unquote woodwork. We'll use Karel Vejmelka as an example for this, but like I understand the importance. I just think it's really hard to identify that guy, and if you can find him, great. But
Did
as we've seen,
he
it's
win a cup
risky
before
to
they paid him?
Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
I would have to look back. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Well, the Kings thought they had their future.
Oh boy. So oh, thank you. That reminds me. Let me just throw this out there too. When you're paying for a goalie, and I'm not talking in a draft, I'm talking now like contract wise. I think what
that was my question. Yeah.
So I think what you're also paying for is the floor. So we talked about Russ, how like Igor Shesterkin and Vasilevsky, they're kind of having like average years by their standards, right? Or even below average by their standards, but they're still having above average years, like by the NHL goalie standards. So I think that's the thing is, if you can identify those guys, like, yeah, the floor for Vasilevsky, the floor for Vasilevsky and Shesterkin is still NHL number one, top half of the league, maybe even top 10. The ceiling is Vezina candidate. The problem with the Cal Peterson contract is we didn't consider the floor. Like, the ceiling is NHL starting goalie, not even Vezina necessarily. The floor is he's waived. And so I think there's something to be said about the Vasilevskys and the Shesterkins that, like, even on their quote unquote, they're having down years, they're still fine. They're still NHL starters. Like, so I think that is as much of a factor in paying for a guy's floor than as much as paying for the ceiling, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Kiffin comes in here. Vasi's new contract was inked 2020, 2021, so right after the first cup. So they already knew what they had in him. Quick's maybe be the best long-term goalie deals. That was not a complete failure. Most do not turn well, ask Florida.
Yeah, the Florida one was one of the worst contracts I've ever seen handed out. That Bobrovsky deal was atrocious.
I'm saying that even top 10 picks, I mean, we're seeing that they can come with some challenges. Like, why not bet on the talent? Like, there's no guarantee. Like, any player around Wallstat, there's no guarantee that all those guys make it. So why not take? Because I could argue outside of center one, goalie is the most important position on the roster. So why not develop, like, put resources in to that position?
Because you know what else is the goal? As much about goaltending as the goaltender itself, but is the team around him and the system around him. Look at the Boston Bruins. They have Linus Ullmark, who is 21-1 or 19-1. Linus Ullmark, guys. But
you don't think Tuukka Rask could have played that well with this defense?
Well, yeah, so he could have. But I'm saying
he's a first-round pick.
But what I'm saying is, so could Linus Ullmark, and so they can plug and play Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman because they give up the fewest amount of high danger chances in the league. Like, they're such a sound, structured defensive team. And that's not to take anything away from Ullmark, but it's like part of it also is dependent on the team, the environment, and the system that you're in, right? So I think that also matters too. And again, like, it's a young man's league. It's a young players league in terms of the skill, and you watch it, but I don't know that it's a young goalies league. Like, how many young goalies are in the league and, like, established as NHL guys? Like, we've seen Spencer Knight come back to earth a little bit here. Carter Hart has come back to earth a little bit. So, like, it's a young skaters league. Like, guys can come into the league and make impacts quickly as skaters. I think it's tougher to do as goalies.
I mean, who would impact guys less than 20 years old, though? I mean, like,
what time are you guys? You guys at 1847?
I'm at
1856.
Same,
okay.
Yeah, yep, same, Brandon.
I think it was
I don't know.
actually interesting. If it was 2 years ago, that goal wouldn't have counted because he had lifted his leg up off the blue line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
It's a great rule. It's a great rule. You know, I think after watching the World Cup, I think the World Cup should go to the hockey style offsides because it'll increase scoring. Like there was a couple goals like disallowed because some guy's foot was like,
World Cup
behind.
offside is just ridiculous. It's so.
So it's so baffling to me how they can find VAR and have the decision within a couple seconds, but it takes forever for hockey. Like, although I know the World Cup was $1 billion moneymaker, so that maybe that's the difference.
Oh, Jersey, killing me, Smalls.
Did you see that they spent more on their World Cup than all the other World Cups combined?
I don't doubt it. Inflation. Jersey, man. It's
not
just
sure that was
his aggressiveness. His aggressiveness.
Building 5 stadiums in the desert didn't really help either.
Yeah, but he had support though. There was still 2 guys back.
He did.
So that's what I want him to be aggressive.
Yeah.
I want him to be aggressive if he's got support.
Just seems like it always goes against him when maybe that's just his bad luck.
I wonder. That's a really good point.
But there you go.
Because sometimes, like, we remember the ones that go wrong.
Yeah.
I wonder how many were.
It's the thing with Jersey is like how many times has he done so many good things? He's like tied for the team lead in points by defenseman.
What a good read by Lizotte there, trying to feed.
This line has had a good. I don't know what their numbers are like under the hood, but this line's played well to the eye test. That's for sure.
Joe,
Carter,
I like that under the hood reference there. That was clean. That was clean, man. I gotta
Just
give you props there.
I am not a car guy either. I don't know the slightest thing about it. So
I think it's the funniest thing when I'm selling
guy.
cars. Yeah, when I'm selling cars and people are like, "So what does this engine come with, man?" I was like, "Dude, I sell these things. I don't fix them. Like I have no idea what."
So in the first period, Lizotte, Anderson, Nolan, Velarde played 252 at 5-on-5, 3-0 in shot attempts.
There you go.
The buzzing.
Sean Walker penalty on him for a hold.
Oh boy, pitchforks.
Here they come.
I don't see an arm yet. Maybe I missed. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, he was getting tied up down low. That's the thing is he has trouble winning those board battles. Can't take penalties against this team.
All right, let's do a little. Let the fans get to know us a little bit. Favorite beer or favorite brewery for you guys?
I'm not a beer guy, so in general it depends. Like if I'm looking to slug a few back, I'm a Labatt Blue Light guy. If I'm
Canadian gay there,
if I'm I don't know if you guys have that down there, but it's big up here. It's huge up here actually. If I'm like
lucky.
If I'm
get there.
Having one or two, then I'll have like a Blue Moon, but that's as crazy as I get. I'm not a big beer guy. Russ?
I keep it simple. I mean, Ballast Point's got some really good beer out here.
Yeah, I like
Grapefruit
Ballast Point.
Sculpin's a good one. Look at I follow.
I think
it's a beast on the Pelly Kill.
Russian River is probably my favorite brewery in Northern California. Oh, there we go.
What a great Mikey Anderson continues to be, and I'd have to check all 3 zones project, but his zone entry defense is so freaking good.
Look at the beer people in here in the chat. Golden Road, we got Mango Cart. Oh,
I don't know what any of these are. I have no idea what language you're speaking.
Golden Road's a brewery in Southern California. Yeah. Mango Cart is delicious. Yeah.
Kupari getting some penalty kill time. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good. What happened there?
Ooh.
How does that knock it out?
Oh, Roy's pissed.
How does that knock it out of the zone? Oh, my goodness.
Roy's pissed at something. I think he thought it was offside.
All 3 of them collided over there.
How does that puck knock it out of the zone?
Oh, what?
All 3 of them collided. You saw.
Oh,
Was it Kupari and Kopitar over there?
The puck's got to get the has to get that out. I'm blaming Copy on that one.
I wonder if he's mad at the linesman for.
That's what I was thinking too. I thought originally maybe it got out. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
I don't think it
I
got
think
out.
it was closed.
I think, but the linesman looked like he was maybe a little in
Out
the
of the
way.
way,
What a
in the
play
way,
by
yeah.
Rantanen. Jeez.
Yeah, that pass across. It's disgusting. Can't take penalties against the
Mike's
Avs.
saying fire Copley. He's done. I'm not going to put up his other one that said this is a joke.
It's 9 straight games that the Kings have allowed a power play goal.
For the viewers at home, that's not good there, Russ, is it?
I don't think so. Let's see, when was the last time they did that?
Yeah, like that play Rantanen makes is what separates guys like him at the upper echelon of the league. So many guys just one time that. It's like he has the calm and the patience and the awareness to just know that I can easily slide this across and it's a tap in.
Byfield's back on the ice like that. So you guys want to know? You guys want to take a guess when the last year? Oh yeah, there's the hit. They're showing the hit that Byfield took.
Was
This
this
is a
his first?
blindside.
Is this his first shift of the period?
I think it is
I think it is too.
because I think they were the third line was out there right as they got the penalty.
That's McDermott. What a shock!
It's still annoying Kings fans. See, this is what you're talking about right here, right? With Byfield, look at him, just gone. No. Jersey's got the puck behind the net. He's got no outlet. Right? No.
Yeah, let me
outlet
see.
right there.
I'm coming up to it now, Russ. So Byfield goes back to him. Yeah, like come back now. Yeah, come back. Where is he? Yep. Yeah, Russ.
There you go.
You sound like Titanic. Come back, Jack. Come back.
Oh, you like that? All right. That was a nice play.
He's directing
That's a nice
traffic a bit. I like to see that. Here we go. Good.
Nice backhand feed to Royce there for a shot.
Ooh, nice pass.
So you guys want to
There we
take
go.
a stab when the last time the Kings allowed a power play goal in 9 straight games? What year?
How did you find that stat so quick?
Stathead.com. They do
Yeah.
great stuff. Some great stuff on
2000? Nope. Wait. 04. Nope. 06. 07.
that. 07.
07.
Actually, you know what? I think it's the end of 2006, 2007, and the beginning of 2007, 2008.
So I was trying to think of the years because I remember these years where every game, like I just bet the over in the Kings games because it was just a track meet. So I figured it had to be those games.
So actually, during that streak from the end of March, from March 21st, 2007 to October 12th, they had allowed a power play goal in 14 straight games.
Is that the Mark Crawford Kings still, or was that Terry? It wouldn't have been Terry Murray then.
Ooh, that might have been Crawford. It's the third. That's the third longest streak in Kings history. Longest is 19.
19?
Allowing a power play goal in 19 straight games
Ooh.
during the 92 season.
During the season they went to the Cup?
Yeah, 92, 93 from
Wow.
October 17th to November 27th.
Well, I think Gretzky was gone though, right? He was hurt at the start of that season, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the end of Crawford. I think that Mike. I think it was. I can't remember exactly when Terry Murray came in, but
Come on, let's get some offensive zone time. Let's get string a couple shifts together here. Don't like it when he has that puck. Do not like it when Cale Makar has the puck.
He's the best in the biz for a reason.
That contract that he signed for the Avs is going to look so good in a couple years here.
How is he not getting $50 million a year with how good he is?
That's why you sign these guys. That's what we're going to be saying about some of these other ones, the Stutzla and whatnot.
But
Tage Thompson. Look at Tage Thompson.
It can also bite you in the ass there, Joe.
It can, no question.
Because
No
we
problem.
talked about it. I mean, at least I talked about it. I think, it's looked all right so far with the Kempe, but I mean, it could look bad if the Cal one has looked bad, right?
But those ones are but they're shorter term. Like the deal with Tage Thompson was an 8-year deal. The deal with Stutz was an 8-year deal. You know, the Kevin Fiala one's a 7-year deal. Those long ones that you're signing, I know Fiala's not a great example.
I know Makar had multiple seasons of dominance before they signed him, but I'm talking about the 1-year deals that the Kings are working on here. You can't always keep just signing people, at the anticipation of max value in their.
That's why we wondered if we would see that long-term deal for Mikey Anderson this past offseason, and they kind of kicked the can down the road for a year. But
that might hurt here.
Well, that's the thing. Like that might hurt if he's going to demand more money this time around than he did last. And we're getting to that time because remember, Randon, I think it was you that speculated, hey, maybe they had like a wink wink handshake agreement. That we're approaching January, so we if you hear of a Mikey Anderson extension, then that soon after January, then I would suspect that means they kind of had something set in place. Because I think
you can call it here as a hockey royalty first on the beat. Get your newspapers ready.
You get the Kopitar line going tonight. Oh, look, I like it. Offenses don't draw for Lizotte.
Why do the Japanese do everything better? This whiskey is fantastic.
There you go, Blake.
There we go. Both Deneau and Kopitar block shots. I like it. Top 5. It's probably because they're always on defense. Kiffin, I don't think it's because we won World War II why they're so much better at whiskey, but I like it. We are the reason. I just found this out. We are the reason that Korean fried chicken is so good is because we introduced it while we were over there. So, little fun fact for you in the chat.
Fun fact: you learn something every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's cool about that Lizotte line, I think all those players have played center. I guess you can say that with a couple of the lines on.
I think every forward in the history of time has played center growing up.
Yeah. Because what's funny, I even see that at the high school level. Like guys that eventually make varsity on their club teams, they've all played center. It's like, well, I can't have all you guys play center, so I'm gonna have to move some of you guys. And so it's as you go up in level, you have to just find guys who can stick at center and who can play the wing.
Gabe's not happy with the linesmen tonight. It's pretty funny.
I just want to say, everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys for coming in here and doing this inaugural set sail for us. It's been fun so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll have to do more of these. Get some fans in here. Get the chat going.
Get some sponsors. Did anybody know any breweries?
Ooh. There you go, Adler.
I will gladly drink your beer and have your sign in the background.
For sure.
Uh-oh. Gotta slow him down.
Russell, have you had Dust Bowl in California?
I've not.
Oh, it's my family or extended family's brewery. So I didn't know if you knew about
Keep
me.
an eye out for it.
They're Northern California, you hate those guys out in the South, but
that's a big deal, right? Out there, NorCal, SoCal. That's a big deal.
I think.
Is it blowing up?
I think the Giants and the Dodgers kind of would make it a big deal. I mean, and you also have the Kings and Sharks. Probably the sports rivalries make it more than what it is.
Okay.
I think it's more. To be honest with you, I think it's more like. I think NorCal. I think San Francisco is like lumped into SoCal because it's a big city, but like Northern Cal is more like, being from it. I think it's more like the mountains, the vibe,
Oh,
that type of thing versus like the city life of SoCal. But
man, they just missed on that. That was a nice pass. Oh, let's see. Byfield got a shift down here. Oh, penalty coming up to the Kings. Great.
Green, I'd be sponsored by a hot sauce if I had to sniff a round of hot sauce every round just to be sponsored by somebody. We need some quatludes up in this pod here.
Oh, it was on McDermott. Oh, okay. That's weird.
And your Kings are on the power play.
Georgiev was going to the bench there.
BG shouting out Good California Brewery is Barrel House. It's in Central California. So go check out Barrel House.
Sure a hold.
Let's do this, boys. Let's get some. Dude, what a signing by Vancouver. That Russian, that's what we wished Kachev would have been, right? He's like he's almost a point per game player.
What is Kachev up to these days, by the way?
I follow him on Instagram, not much.
I'm having PTSD right now.
And Russ will be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to go cry in the corner for a couple minutes here. All right, starting in with the second unit. The second unit's getting the start here. Byfield.
Nice entry.
Oh, my God. That's always called. That's always called, Dersey.
Yep, you're right, Russ. You're right. It is. And
I hate this. I understand. I understand why Jersey's so upset here, but this is called in every hockey game.
And it's happened to Dersey before.
Mm-hmm. Just get out of the way. You're not even in the play.
Yep.
Like
he knows. Oh, that's a tough one though.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Boy,
he tried to stop.
Yeah, he sees this, but looking at
he sees it from a mile away. Yeah.
Look you can see Jersey's looking at the guy. Like, dude, and it's Cogliano. He's always going to go down easy. Jersey, you just got to get out of the way there. You've already set it up. Just
again, gold chain. He needs a larger gold chain.
The swag is not big enough.
Or let's go less swag and more hockey.
I usually am very sympathetic as a former official to sympathize with them, but I'll be honest, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It's a weak call in my opinion.
I think it's because it's just no, but the thing is they call it.
Yeah.
I hate the call too, but that's consistently been called.
Yeah, I agree with you, Carter scores. I agree with
Especially because
all aboard.
You see Dersey kind of looking at the defender too. That's what's so annoying.
Hey, Russ. Russ.
What?
In 42 games in the KHL, how many points do you think Kachev has?
Uh-oh. Don't get me excited now.
It starts with a 4. He's at 40 points in 42 games.
Reunion tour. It's because T-Mac. I gotta get. I mean,
so weird.
Don't get me started, Tim. T-Mac is just not about fun and excitement and players that know how to play. I'm surprised we got Fiala. I think the only reason Fiala is playing is because the price point. Ooh. Like if Fiala wasn't making $7 million, he tried. T-Mac tried for a little bit. Like, hey, let's put him down in the third line. And Rob Blake was like, hey, dude, I played too much money for this guy.
It's definitely an out of character signing from the Kings, huh?
Fiala. It is.
It worked out great though so far.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Like I understand we won cups with like defense.
Ooh.
Got some fucking pipe there.
See, do that more, Kempe, please. Just shoot the puck. He has an excellent shot.
But Randa, don't forget, like the Kings had Jeff Carter. They had Marion Gaborik. They had Mike Richards, who for the first cup was still.
But those aren't fancy guys. Those are goal scorers that have some
Gaborik's
grit.
It's fair, Gaborik. But that's fair. I can see where you're going with that.
They got some grit, like they're like
just pure offensive players. Oh,
like Kachev drinks
Copley, you're
Russian vodka and then goes out and dances like a ballerina and scores a point per game.
What a
KHL.
keep in by Devon Taves there.
Wow.
Jeez.
Devontae might be an interesting trade piece if they decide. Oh, the slash? Thank you.
Okay, good. See, that's another one, Russ. He's
That's
complaining.
another one.
Exactly.
That's why I was like, yep, it's one of those cheapies.
I hate it, but it's.
They're gonna call it every time. Yeah,
I'm loving the
that was
stop.
ridiculous.
I am loving the stop. I don't know how I didn't see this.
Look at this right here.
All right,
Oh,
Russ, you got a question here.
Went off his other pad. What's up?
Hey, Russ, Mason Marchment is kind of back down to earth. Does that make you feel a little bit better about this offseason?
I did see that. I checked out his stats and his relative expected goals the other day to see how he's doing. They're not as good as they were in Florida, that's for sure. I still think he's a great player, and he brings a little bit more aggressiveness to the ice than probably other players.
He looked great when Dallas kicked the shit out of the Kings when I was watching the game in person.
He's got flashes. I mean, he's a great player. He's just not lighting it up as much as he did in Florida, which I guess was kind of expected. But
so
signed him for under $4 million, or I think $4 million.
So Fiala for his contract or Marchment for his contract?
So that's the thing is, I was thinking like if you had signed Marchment to his deal, which is pretty much half of what Fiala's is, probably could have had a little bit of money left over for another piece if you needed it. But
Fiala, the answer is Fiala.
It's
yeah.
hard.
You need the high end. You need the high end piece. Like where's the high end piece?
He's way more dynamic. I guess if you're always talking about like who gets the best player out of the trade, right? Like everyone said that with the Joe Thornton trade. Like all the good players that are going to Boston, but San Jose is getting Joe Thornton. Like, take the best player available.
Do you remember? Because I remember somebody bringing up because there was a brief time there where Jesper Bratt was like not signed and potentially. Boy, would I have loved the Kings to get in on that guy, but I think they got a similar. I don't know if Fiala's, if it's fair to say he's similar, but yeah, Fiala is he brings an element to this team that they haven't had. Like he reminds me almost of like Ziggy Palffy back in the day.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah,
that smooth, just totally skilled
Joe,
player.
he was playing before I was born, so
easy. We're like the same age, aren't we?
No, but you forget that I didn't become a hockey fan until like 2012. So. Or 10 during the Vancouver Olympics. The sweet country pride brought me in.
They got Kopitar running the bumper. I guess they're kind of swinging around.
Velarde down low. Like the biggest thing I'll see from the Kings power play this season that I've noticed is two things. And it's two things that I'm just I wanted to see that we never saw last year was down low usage and some low to high and the usage of the bumper. And they've at least tried to incorporate both of those things. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they are, in the top half of the league in the power play this year because of that, or part of that, not all of that, but because part of that.
All right, guys, come on. Let's reset here. Can we not force saucer passes across the 3 lines?
Let's have some sort of regulation.
Hard wrap.
It goes out of play.
Oh, right idea though. Because that's this is the tough part.
Great though.
This is the tough part. So, like that play there, Russ, where you're like, we go saucer pass back. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. What I would have done is gone backwards because you can't do anything. If you look at that blue line, everybody's stationary, everybody's flat-footed. So even if you did a hard wrap, no one's moving to skate into the other side. Like Doughty there recognized, okay, they're standing up at the blue line here. I have no zone entry. If I can do a hard wrap and skate into it,
there we go.
Works. But
yeah,
good quick play there by Durst.
Ooh. Harbison tried to sell that hit a little bit. They got Byfield. Oh, that's beautiful. That was pretty.
Go!
That
Los
was
Angeles. All right.
It's so weird to see low to bumper like work and create offense.
McCarr throwing a fist. I don't know if that Nick jersey or not, but was that a gloveless fist?
What a play.
No. Okay.
What a play.
Byfield involved?
Let's see the
I wanna see
replay
how-
on here.
Yeah, I want to see how this develops again. But again, this is a classic. Use the triangle down low.
No, it was a classic Arvidsson like energy play there. I mean,
Byfield chips it. No, Byfield.
Well, but I'm saying
Free
it
ball?
goes down low. It
Byfield
goes
get a
down
secondary?
low.
Triangle. The
Yes.
triangle.
That's exactly it, Russ. It goes
too
down
bad.
low,
no, I
down low
follow.
below the goal line, out to the bumper, and then that's how a good power play works. And the Kings have done a significantly better job of that this season, utilizing the down low below the goal line and utilizing the bumper. Excellent work.
That's too bad Byfield won't get a point on there because he was instrumental
Yep.
in finding eye follow there. But that's,
I think
man, those three again, all three of those
Yep.
players getting on the board.
I follow, man. I listen. I'll admit when
Oh,
I'm wrong.
Okay,
This
the
dude's
scoreboard.
having a great. I was not on board with eye follow on the power play, but I'm happy to be wrong.
I'm still
admit
not
it.
on board. He hasn't proved me.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Oh, I thought I did it. There we go. Scoreboard is updated.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
Oh,
There we go.
Scoreboard, yeah, I like it.
oh shit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Second unit again. Oh, easy, Jad.
I like that they called the second unit because of the players on it, but it's the first unit. Like they've had more power play goals this year, I would assume.
Could also
say-
be.
But you know
Jersey.
what? I say it's the first unit because push comes to shove. Who are they going to in playoffs when you're going with
Yeah.
Kopitar, Fiala, Doughty? Like that's who you're putting on the ice. That's your
Are
first.
are you or it's Kaliev?
No, I think it's that. Now, I think it's that top unit.
Thing with
I think-
Kaliev on the second unit, which I've kind of been beating the drum for him to be on the first unit, but it gives that second unit a weapon that the
Yeah.
first unit probably doesn't need. Because when you have
No, it's
Fiala,
the
and Kempe
identity.
and Kopitar, yeah, it's also the identity of that line. But when you have Fiala, Kopitar, and Kempe and Doughty, you shouldn't you don't need a Kaliev alongside.
To your point, Russ, like you're seeing on that second unit now, that's a little bit of a different way that goal is scored. Like that goal is scored by going that down low, then to the bumper, then another pass. Where when Kaliev's out there, the idea is let's get Arthur in a place to shoot it. So that it's operating different, and that's the thing with the first unit is with Kopitar.
Oh
and
my
Fiala,
God, no!
God dang it.
That's probably one of the
Oh.
first bad goals I've seen Copley let in quite a while.
Shoot, that's a tough one.
You can't let Andrew Cogliano score from the circle. Come
You
on, what are we
hate
doing
Andrew
here?
Cogliano, and I respect the
he's
shit out of
always,
him.
I know he's like definitely one of those players I hate. I love to hate. Ugh, Copley, don't do
Yeah,
this to me.
that's a bad goal. That's
Don't do this to me, Copley.
bad goal. Good number, by the way. That was yours truly number in high school and college. The old 2-9. Just throwing it out there.
It's a good one.
The old Deuce Niner.
It was literally I made the high school team as a freshman, and it was literally the last number available, so I had no choice but to take it, and it grew on me, so I kept it.
You know what's kind of sad is I had my number my entire life, and senior year, you're as a senior, you're supposed to get your number. The junior who threw 95 miles an hour took my number. He petitioned the coach, and the coach was like, "Yeah, you're our ace. You can have it." I was like, "Dude,
Yeah, forget all these other bums. Let's
Yeah.
give you the number.
You didn't get like a Rolex out of it, like some of these other people.
we were in high school, but
I know. I'm kidding.
man." So fun story, real story. Car sales in the history of Random McMahon here. Chick comes in. Chick is named Chick, and she comes into the dealership, and she's graduated. Good for her. All this kind of stuff. She's getting all her stuff going on. Moving to Colorado. Her best friend's grandfather owns a $17.8 million mansion in Aspen that she's going to be staying at rent-free for a year while she gets her feet wet in Colorado.
Good for her.
Good for her. Making the right friends. That's my advice for tonight's chat is making the right friends. Because
So why am I hanging out with you guys? No, I'm just kidding.
so if anybody has a $17.8 million mansion out there that they want to lend to us for the next live chat, we will gladly accept.
We can do our streams out of there or podcasts out of there. Look at that. We can each have our own rooms. That'd be fun.
All right.
think Arvidsson's turned
All right.
into a
Little another
playmaker
get
more
to
than
know
anything,
us.
huh?
Get to know us question. Favorite band growing up before high school? What was your favorite band in high school?
Favorite band?
Yeah.
Ooh. I was a hip hop guy.
Me too.
I only
Or
have a lot
artist.
of bands.
So,
I'm gonna-
band or artist? Yeah.
So in high school, it was Nelly.
All
Like
right.
I was all in.
It's getting
Country
hot
Grammar
in
was
here.
actually one of my first CDs I ever owned.
I heard Country Grammar and it changed my life. And then Bone Thugs and Harmony. But if you're asking me like today, I am a tried and true. Like I'm pretty versatile. Like I can listen to Nelly and Bone Thugs and Harmony, but my go-tos are like classic rock. I am the Who. Like I went to see him in Toronto earlier this year. Those are my guys.
Nice.
I hope she's the one there, Carter, because that sounds like fun. Rent free in Montana. So a lot of people don't really realize it based on all my tattoos or whatever that I was a rap guy. Oh, come
my God,
on.
he's so good. He's just so good.
And that's why you pay him. And that's why you pay him. Jesus criminy.
That one's
He's-
not on Phoenix.
He's got so much speed. He's able to turn around and skate backwards.
He
toe drag
shifted,
at the same time.
shifted a gear like I've never seen.
Look at this transition right here.
Oh,
Open up.
That's a tough mistake for Mikey Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that too often. Great read by Makar. Great read by Makar.
Wow. Well, that dampers on this, boys, but I would say my favorite band in high school was probably Nirvana. It like defined my identity, to be honest with you.
I never got into that grunge. I never got into that. For
See
whatever
that
reason.
follow?
I just
Oh,
wasn't my thing.
I'm surprised no one came after.
Just on they're gonna call I a follow, aren't they? Of course.
No, they can't call. him.
Oh, okay. I thought he put his arm up. I'm
It
sorry.
just came on.
Okay.
Came off.
why does everybody drink water out of the corner of their mouth and not their whole mouth?
Dowdy's probably kicking himself for not getting a stick on that.
Yeah, that's tough because Anderson. So he makes the bad play, but then there's no gap because of it. Like Makar had free reign to skate right into the zone.
We got to update the scoreboard.
All right, I'll get it. You got it? I got it.
We're 2 goals behind. Shoot.
No, we're 1 goal behind.
No, it was
Just 2-1.
Yeah, it's 3-2 now, Russ.
Oh, it's 3. Yeah, that's right. Oh man, those 2 quick goals. I tried to forget about the Cogliano goal.
I don't blame that one. It's not a Copley goal. That's a great,
No, that's
goal.
a good player making a great play.
Yep.
So Russ, you haven't divulged yours. You said you were a hip hop artist. What's yours?
I don't know. I think in high school, I think everybody listened to 50 Cent, right?
Yeah. All right.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
What was your graduation years?
07.
05?
05. What were you, Russ?
07.
Okay, so I was 03. 50 wasn't as big for me.
Oh yeah, Lazat, get
Look at
nasty.
Blake, get in
Get
there.
nasty. I like it, baby. Get nasty, Lazat. Let's do it.
Oh, Jad's even getting
Look at
down
Chad
to
with a
DVD.
couple shots. I like this line more and more.
Everybody in the chat, throw your high school band in there. Ooh, Bald Spot by Hunt. Get some hymns, man. Get some hymns.
There's no problem with that.
Yeah,
He's just got to take it down to the wood.
Yeah,
he's
he's not owning it
positive
like you, Joe.
podcast.
He's not owning it like you, man. You got
That's right.
you got the turtle wax every single podcast. I love it. You got that car tri-coat shine every single podcast.
Carter Scores Green Day Dookie was a big one for me I was probably in like middle school maybe. when that came out? I'm trying to think now.
Led Zeppelin in high school? Were you actually in high school in the
Always.
60s, or is that just because you like old school stuff?
I
there?
do like Led Zeppelin.
Always okay to get the lead out. There's never a
Yeah.
bad time.
Full marks. I don't know who that is. Escape the Fate. Sorry,
Oh, Skip, they're great.
I don't know what that is. What genre is that?
We need Ryan's. Is that metal? We
It's
might
metal.
need Ryan Sykes.
Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, I love Nine Inch Nails. There we go.
Ryan
There
Sykes
you
Sykes is
go.
our hockey royalty metal
go. Yeah, him and Rando are the metalhead.
connoisseur.
You're a metalhead, right, Rando? You like the metal or no?
I love metal. You know, scientifically, metal's the healthiest music genre to listen to live.
I don't even know what that means.
Heart rate
Just take your word
and
for it there.
activity in the pit. Probably
Okay,
not
so-
anymore. Well, yeah, because they took into what you're taking, which like raves and stuff, like you're taking a lot of drugs, so that's not healthy for you. But
Hmm.
I don't know.
So we got Deneau and Arvidsson up front. Walker is paired with. Who's he paired with? Let's see.
Well, that was a nice play.
Is it
by
Edler?
Walker. Poked it out a little
Yeah,
bit.
it is. Oh, it's Doughty and Walker together on the 4. Okay.
I like
Step
that
up
play by
there.
Walker though, and then he just got burnt a little bit. So Joe, I've always
Weird.
wondered this: how much is the
Uh-oh.
4-on-4 man-on-man versus zone? Because Walker like stayed with him the entire time. Oh,
Yeah, it's much more.
Kale McCarr is taking over right now. Kale McCarr is taking over this game.
so the third period will be entirely stories from Hockey World Cup.
You watch when you 4-on-4, and then even more so when you watch 3-on-3 in overtime. It's legit man on man. But the Kings kind of play a man on man style, anyways, in the D zone at 5-on-5. But it's tough. So 4-on-4.
So
a guy like
compared to
McCarr is-
compared to basketball. Sorry,
Walker's
Joe.
just gonna give me a heart attack right now. Sorry, I've noticed this before. This is where you look. He's just sitting there. Get on a guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love the
He's
play.
gotta
by-
watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that is, bro. And
To know.
it's fascinating. to see
Subpar
this.
hockey.
Well, but you see this at high school level is puck watching. It happens in the
Mhm.
show too. He's watching the play. He misses his guy, but like Phil Deneau, not a great play at the blue line with that little whatever the hell that was, that
Yeah.
little swipe play. That's not a real play, guys. So, I don't want to totally have him off the hook there. But again, when you got Cal McCarr, he's an elite player. Great players make great
man.
plays.
This is the Kings team we saw for the beginning of the season.
Would you say Kel McCarr is the best defenseman in the NHL right now?
I have a soft spot for Victor Hedman.
I mean, he's in the discussion.
That was your roundabout way of saying yes.
He's in the discussion, and Roman Yossi's in the discussion. I think this season it's tough to go against.
I think Roman Yossi's way overrated.
Really?
Ooh.
Not as
Whoa,
like,
what?
like
Was
I'm
that
talking about best
a little weird?
defenseman versus like top 5 because he's definitely top 5, but I don't think he's the best defenseman in the league. I don't think he's.
I will
should
say,
even
I
be
think
close to
this-
conversation.
This season, I want to really emphasize this season. I think it's Rasmus Dahlin.
Okay, Buffalo.
That wasn't a very good period.
No,
4
it's not.
goals scored in that second period there.
More bourbon.
3 in a span of less than 3 minutes.
More bourbon. It's whiskey.
I have bourbon.
Oh, okay. What are you drinking, Joe?
I'm just a standard kind of Woodford Reserve. Nothing fancy.
If anybody has any bourbon that they can send Joe,
4 Roses single barrel. If you are going to send it,
no, let's get you some custom stuff there, my man.
I like
Let's,
4 Roses single barrel. I like Eagle Rare.
Okay, so let's go this route. Sorry, just the people in the chat, offensive defenseman. This should there be separate trophies for defensemen for offensive defenseman and best defenseman?
I think that's a fair, because I think too much we fall into this trap of defensemen. Just we award the best of the Norris to who gets the most points. Now sometimes that's okay. Like sometimes a guy is a great offensive defenseman. He's a great defensive defenseman, but I don't know that that's always the case. So I am on
Carlson.
board.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm on board with
I
like
had
a
something.
Bobby Orr award or something like that.
But chat, what do you think? Should there be 2 defensive awards for offensive and defensive defensemen? Throw it in there. Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat.
Kings were
No.
outshot in that second period by
But I think Kamakar's the
large
best,
margin.
best defenseman in the league, and I don't think it's even close.
All right, so second period recap. Looks like the Avalanche had 5 high danger chances at 5-on-5, and the Kings had 0.
That's really bad, Russ. Just I don't know. Just quick math. That's really bad.
Just thinking on top of your head there. I don't know, man.
Now,
This
can I say, we have a tendency as fans to do this. If the Kings lose this game, this is not the end of the world.
No.
Like,
it is.
There's
I'm
need
no longer a Kings fan. I'm burning this jersey.
There's
Sorry,
no
Mom.
need to overreact. There's no need to overreact. There's no need to fire anybody. There's no need to trade anybody. There's no need to waive anybody. This happens. This happens sometimes.
All right, fun question here from Sunil. What type of gum does Todd chew on the bench? He's saying tonight, but I'm saying on the bench. Do you think Todd is a juicy fruit? Do you think he's a double mint?
Is it me or does he look like he isn't chewing? Like, does he grab like the cough drop? Is he using like the hard candies?
Something like that. Yeah, I think the hard candies.
I
Probably
think he
the
does the
mints.
hard candies.
Probably a mint guy.
I'll
Little
tell you.
Altoid.
I can tell you personally. I love chomp. I'm a chewer on the bench as a coach, and it just depends how the game goes. If we're winning, I keep the same piece of gum all game. If we need a change up, I switch the gum out.
Joe, do you put the gum underneath the bench there for the next game if it's a winning streak? Does that?
I have not done that. I have not done that.
He's like, and tell him now. New.
But another fun fact: I have 3 times in my coaching career gotten so mad I've thrown my gum onto the ice, like spiked it. Because what happens is, and I see Peter Laviolette used to do this. Like you're talking or trying to like not yell, but like you're talking like emotionally to an official. And I know a lot of these officials. I used to be in one, so I try not to yell. But like there's times where, like I take the gum out of my mouth so I don't like it's jumbling around. Like you don't realize as you're talking, it's like so I take it out of my mouth. But there's times where we've been on the road and the officiating has not been up to standard, and I've spiked it.
So boys, we got a couple of fan questions here that I've been saving for the intermission. New listener, Schneck Tube saying drinking game idea. Every time Faust says King's unable to clear, take a drink. I would be plastered. There'd be no feed here going on. But do you guys think there could be a Kings drinking game? What game would that be?
I think it probably
tonight.
Like every time,
4 goals,
every
4 goals in
time-
the second period would cause me to drink quite a bit.
every time Lizotte hits the ice, right? Doesn't it? Lizotte falls down a lot, type of thing.
Yeah, falls down a lot. So every time Lizotte falls down because he's small, take a drink. That's a nice drinking game. Yeah,
that's a good one. No. If the Kings end up losing this game, you start Quick on Saturday. Instead of Copley?
No.
Or you ride Copley?
No, because the Copley wasn't the reason for tonight. So that's not.
Tough.
You did give up that Cogliano goal.
Tough.
We're still 3-2. If we lose by 1. Marty comes in here. Hey, Russ and friends. So he's highlighting you, by the way. So you're the captain here on this question.
So I think Marty is actually Mikey Alexander, the in-arena host for the Kings.
Okay. As we battle,
met him a couple times.
Awesome. Throw him under the bus there, man. He's incognito right now. He's incognito in the chat.
No, I think he's cool with me calling him
as we battle the Flyers on New Year's Eve. Tell us your New Year's resolutions. If you are the LA Kings,
Ooh.
So, as the LA Kings, what are your New Year's resolutions? Like, what would be your New Year's resolution? Mine would be play Brant Clark. That would be my New Year's. But no, seriously though, I think mine would be trust in the youth. You drafted them for a reason. Give them opportunities for higher level elevation within the team in the lines. And I think he'll be rewarded. I think Fagemo will be just as good as a goal scorer as anybody else. I think that Brant Clark is obviously a top 6 defenseman on this team already. I think there's a lot of instances where the team has sheltered people and to the detriment. And now will that be to the detriment long term? Who knows? But I'm going based off what I've seen. And that would be my New Year's resolution. What about you guys?
I think mine would just be find consistent goaltending because we've seen this team win games with decent goaltending. So if they can find that, I think you have a good shot at winning the division. So that's it seems pretty hard to find.
I was torn between goaltending and another one. So since you took goaltending, Russ, I will say shore up the back end. And I think what that means is probably shoring up the left side of the D, because I think if you can address that, and maybe that's from within, right? Maybe that is Bjornfoot, maybe that is Mo Ferrari. But I think if you shore up the left side, then that let the players on the right side fall into place. Like I think that just brings a little bit more continuity, a little bit more structure, a little bit more consistency, hopefully to the back end. And I think that could go a long way. So that's where I'm going to go if I'm the LA Kings, because I think they have a lot of depth up front. So I don't think they necessarily need to address anything up front. So I would say that the resolution for me would be to shore up the back end, and I think that starts on the left side.
I do think that starts with Jacob Chikrin, who's almost a point per game player this year.
Power play goal tonight, by the way, just for the record.
Okay, so then he's probably a point per game player because what I'm seeing on Hockey Reference, 17 games, 13 goals, or 3 goals, 13 assists, 16 points, a plus 10 on one of the worst teams in the league. Everybody's like, oh, he's not worth this because of injury or this or that. Like, I know there's concern, but he is a dynamite player. Now the cost. Do you think the cost has gone up now?
No, that's probably still about the same.
Or first?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would say it's about the same, because I think teams that were interested in him were probably, they wanted to see him play because he'd been out for so long. So they want to see how he played. So I don't know that the cost has gone up, but I certainly don't think it's gone down.
So one less year of control, but you have guarantee that he's healthy, but evens out.
Yep.
Someone was worried Arvidsson was hurt. I think he was actually on the ice during that last goal, so I think he's fine.
Yeah. Consistency for the Kings. Carter says, just win. That's a New Year's resolution. Okay, that's very vague.
Okay.
Play the kids from Kiffin. I like that. I like that a lot. I think let's go with another one here. Obviously, we already know Joe's, which is Italian. You know, everybody loves Italian. But Russ, what's your go-to meal?
My go-to meal. Ooh, I have a pretty decent Mexican restaurant right down the street from me. I can always go with some good enchiladas. I guess that's my Southern California heritage coming out.
So I've never had an enchilada.
Oh my God, Joe. Yeah.
And so Joe is no longer a part of Hockey Royalty.
He's been terminated as soon as today. Yeah, what are we going to do?
Oh, and he's back. Oh, and he's back. All right.
So enchiladas, Joe, are delicious. And I think you should, if you ever make your way out to California or LA, I'll take you some spots and we'll pop your cherry.
There we go.
Some of those.
Hey,
yeah, get some a little green sauce. Maybe I like to do with the pork. Oh man, it's they call them carnitas.
So
Joe, what?
Excellent stuff.
Joe laughing. Joe, what is
Joe,
wrong
what
with
is
you?
wrong with you? Look at that.
So again,
Trade Joe. Look at that one. That last one. That's a good one. We're trading Joe. I don't know.
Trade Joe to Arizona with Walker.
I don't know what kind of return we'll get for that. But
he's the topper. He's the topper on that trade.
But yeah, we'll We'll definitely have a talk with him. We're gonna
Tom
have a
Tom is
talk.
trying to reason with you, Joe. He's saying an enchilada is
good.
pretty much a
That's-
Mexican lasagna.
Thank
so
you.
pretty much all Mexican dishes are just tortillas and meat and cheese, and then some
Which-
beans and rice on the side. That's pretty much
So-
everything.
And so this is where I'm good with that. Give me if you give me a tortilla, some rice, or some meat and cheese, I'm all in there.
That's
I'll
an
shovel it
enchilada.
in.
You,
Okay.
you cook the meat, you wrap it in a tortilla, maybe put a little green sauce in there, a little red sauce,
So are
cheese
you
on
green-
top,
are you green or
sauce
red
on
there?
top. I'm
Russ?
green.
What
I
is-
like green
what
sauce.
the hell is green sauce?
So they call
Oh.
it verde. It's just different. I think it's the chilies that are used. So the
Yes,
spice, different
Oh,
spice
it's
to
so
it.
good. It's so good. Green sauce is better than red sauce. Don't
Yeah,
don't.
I'm a huge green
Blowing my
sauce.
mind right
Yeah.
now. I know two sauce, red and Alfredo. So
Oh,
All right,
people are
so-
saying, look at that.
so
Mom,
boys,
look at the
real
last-
question here. Go ahead, Russ.
Someone's saying that Arvidsson went to the room after that last goal. So we'll have to see if he comes out for the third period here.
All right, we'll see.
No, that last goal was right around 1 minute left in the second period. So we'll see what happens. See if he comes out for the third. That would be a tough loss.
So, boys, this is a kind of a question, maybe a thought here. I got the jersey to go to a game. What if we meet and do a live podcast, meet in person, everybody meet in person on the road?
Yeah.
that would be the that would be awesome. One of these days, that would be.
I'd love to do like a Twitter meetup, like maybe get a suite, talk to the team. Maybe they can hook us up with a Twitter suite. We can have a bunch of people attend the game, hang out, free food, free drinks. That'd be pretty cool. See if wink, wink, wink. LA Kings.
Russ, you're
wink,
going
wink.
way above what I thought, but yeah.
Hey,
hook
I'm
that
shooting
up.
for the stars here. You know what? Just
Hook
why
that
not?
up.
I don't want to be recording outside. Let's get us inside the building. Why not?
But for us three boys, what do you think? Should we get together at a game, away game?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it would be great. It's admittedly extremely tough for me to plan with the two little ones. That's a tough task.
Hey, Joe's wife, suck it up. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm
And
just kidding.
Joe's done.
And
Good
Joe's
photo.
no longer Power Hockey Royalty. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm saying Joe deserves this. And you are a great wife. You do way more for the kids than he ever could do in his entire lifetime.
Both of those are true. Both of those are
But he needs a weekend,
Stoley's doing a great job explaining this Makar goal right here.
true. So I'm on
Him and
what
his
is-
hockey stick on live stream is so great. I love
Yeah,
it.
he's pretty much just saying like it's so difficult as a goalie to track the puck and see where that's going with the way Makar's skating,
Can
and you're
you-
hoping that Doughty gets a stick there on the puck because he's
You're
able to
hoping
toe
Dowdy
drag.
hits
He look,
Makar in the face.
I'm explaining as he's doing this. He's with Makar, he's able to toe drag and kind of bring that puck in and get so much
Yeah.
torque on
Yeah.
the stick. That's what kind of gets all that velocity there, and it's so hard to read if you're a goalie. He's almost
Yeah.
using Doughty as a screen there.
Well,
That's
and
a tough one.
You see so much more of that in this day and age and in the modern game is guys pulling the pucks in toward their body. So, and Makar doing that as he's moving laterally from right to left, then he's pulling the puck in toward his body. He's not leaving the stick out and just shooting it. It's easier for the goalie to read that. He's pulling it in as I'm on mute, but I'm assuming Stoll was probably saying this.
No, you're not.
Pretty much.
No, my TV's on mute, so I don't know what Stoll was saying, but like he's pulling it in, and then as he's pulling it in, he shoots it across the grain.
Mhm.
That's a really tough stop for Copley there, and I don't know what was his take on again. I had the TV.
He's just hoping to get you're trying to get a stick on that pretty much.
because I don't
Golden
hate.
comes in here saying Stoll. Wait, Carter Score saying is Stoll should be a coach. Do you think he's with his?
He's a development coach. He's part of the
Yeah.
coaching staff.
Yep.
He is already a coach, but do you think he should be like an on bench coach, or do you
Well,
think
let me
that
ask
he's
you,
making too much money already?
I will say this. I think part of it is this. I think it depends on the individual because Stoley there, the way he breaks down that individual play, like I think what makes him a really good developmental coach and like individual coach is that right there. It's tough. Like it's just a different animal. Coaching, like being in charge of, say, the forwards or being in charge of the power play or being in charge of certain systems rather than individual skills. Right. So I think his task is individual skill development. And I think he's probably, I have no idea, guys, right? I'm not there. But I get the sense that he's probably really good at that. Just the way he breaks down these individual little plays, I think he's probably good at that individual skill set type of stuff rather than, and I'm not saying he can't be a big overarching X's and O's systems guy. Maybe he is. It's just, so maybe he could be Carter score. Maybe he could be a coach. It's just, I think he perhaps really likes this individual development stuff.
Joe, stop being apologetic, man. Like he's great at what he does. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was trying to say.
I think that Stoll is a player development coach for a reason because he can dissect the film like nobody, and he's making it relevant on national television. Like he's not dissecting the film and like, hey, this is where this guy should be, and this. He's making it relevant for people who are the layman's like I am, who have never played hockey, who, hey man, that's great. That's this, that. And then he can also develop it for people who have played hockey, his prospects, that he's doing that as a player development coach. So yeah, maybe he could be a coach or head coach, but right now his role, I think he's perfect for that role.
Yeah.
That's why I've loved Jim Fox so much, just because growing up, I didn't feel like I was getting fed just Kings bias on a nightly basis. Not like some other announcers down the freeway here, but it's just you're getting like clear just descriptions of rules and just no bias shown. I mean, yeah, you hear those Jim Fox like those like yells like in the back. Oh, they're showing the replay of that Arvidsson hit. But yeah, Foxy's great. I think he explains the rules well, and he leaves his bias out of it as well.
I think Jim Fox.
Arvidsson's on the ice. There we go.
Good. When it comes to broadcasts, like Jim Fox as a color guy, I legitimately think he's one of the best in the league at the way he breaks down plays. And I think Brandon, you alluded to how like you can make it kind of so the layman understands it. He does an excellent job of that. And actually, Brandon, I think the Dallas Stars have one of the best broadcasts in the NHL. Daryl Ray is awesome as a color commentator. So it's one thing to be able to break down the play, but it's also another one to be able to break it down on TV so everybody can kind of understand what's going on.
To be honest with you, the Dallas Stars are one of the best hockey games to watch, period. Like live, they're so good. On TV,
except
they're
for their
so
goal
good.
song. Except for their goal song.
Penalty. That's a penalty.
You don't like Pantera?
That's got to be a penalty.
I don't dislike Pantera. I don't like that goal song. I think
it's great. Pantera's fantastic. So Joe is wrong. You just wipe him off on this, but it's a great atmosphere. It's downtown. Like there's so many bars and restaurants. You got everything going on. Right now we got a puck into the stands. Cogliano is staring.
Did I go to the bench or the stands?
That's what I think they're arguing, trying to see. Ooh, it kind of looked like it deflected off Iafallo's stick there.
That looks like it went into the stands. Right?
They're calling the penalty. I think this can't be reviewed.
Why did they call him?
Never mind.
Wasn't it Cogliano?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can you have a separate person serve that penalty?
No,
maybe
that's actually really helpful for the Avs because he's one of their best penalty killers.
Yeah. So number two units on first here.
Yeah.
There we go. Byfield, dude, he's dancing. He's dancing. I like it. Oh, and then
I see some people talking about broadcasts. The Kings do have legit, like the athletic rank, like fans vote and stuff. And the Kings have one of the better ones every year. The Seattle Krakens is elite. Probably.
Oh man, they got so lucky with Forsland.
Yep, probably the best in the league. And Allison Lukin does an excellent job breaking things down too. And they have Eddie. They have Eddie.
Go!
Okay. So this play is made entirely by this is made by Quentin Byfield. This play is made by Quentin Byfield.
All right, go.
He
tell us.
Devon Staves. He lifts Devon Taves' stick here and gets the puck back, but then he doesn't. He's not going to get a point here. They need to go back for those right here. Boom! That stick lift right there is just what creates everything. I love it. That's what you want to see from Byfield. But that feed from Jersey was beautiful.
So Byfield's had two non-credited plays tonight.
What a play!
Man,
by
what a
Jersey,
shot!
by the way.
What a
What
shot!
a play!
Bob.
What a
That's-
play!
That's
What a play.
another great play all around.
Look at-
Another
look at
primary
the-
And
assist.
by the
for
way,
Arvidsson,
D
too.
Wall, how are you watching this game a full minute before us? I don't understand.
Look at the.
He's
Um,
at the game. He's got us right there.
But what the
beer,
play?
the beer's right next to it.
Woo. Yes, I follow. Yes. Byfield to unofficial assist. Yeah, that's
Another-
what we're talking about. Let's
Another-
go, Byfield.
another power play triangle, high low bumper.
Arvidsson's the
Brandon.
primary assist. Yeah, there we go. Look at Byfield.
The
Wait a
fifth
minute.
assist of hockey royalty here.
Is Byfield playing with Kopitar and Kempe right now?
He is.
Where's Fiala?
on a wing?
That's weird. Where's Fiala at? I wonder if
They're
this is the
kinda-
end of his shift.
No, they just had a face.
No, there's Fiala. Oh, that's
Ooh.
weird.
So just a late change.
Maybe just kind of a reward. Like, hey, here you go. I think McClellan kind of recognized what Byfield's done the last couple of.
Yeah, maybe Russ. I guess.
I don't know because Fiala's taking a run here with.
Yeah, no, I
Velarde.
think that. Well, so again, like Byfield isn't driving the play. Nobody in that line's driving the play.
Dude, are we watching? Is Hockey Royalty witnessing the first ever Quentin Byfield playing the wing moment here?
Now, for the record, he did play it in Ontario a couple games.
He did. That's correct. The first NHL moment.
He did that shift. Let's keep an eye on it.
So Fiala's
He's-
with
he's not a
Lazat
winger,
and
though.
Velarde.
He's not a winger. So
No, I don't want him to be a winger, but
No,
it's
but he's not
interesting to
a
see.
winger either. I'm not ruling anything out at this point.
Joe, why are you the people pleaser? You should be a politician. Jesus Christ.
Look at this
All
look
right.
off from Dersey, by the way.
Randon is going to a mac and cheese in the microwave intermission.
That look off, by the way. So what do we have here now? We have okay, the regular second line with Deneau. I don't want to abandon Byfield as a center yet, but what I'll say is there's times where you see these guys that are centers and you know they're going to be centers, but they spend some time early in their career on the wing to kind of just help get up to speed, maybe take a little bit of responsibility off themselves. I think that could be something that maybe they look to explore. And yeah, he's out
Dude,
there again, Russ.
He's playing on the wing with Kopitar and Kempe right now. That's crazy.
And you know what? Listen,
Oh,
for all the
Papa,
people
you're
that,
amazing.
for all the people that want to fire Todd McClellan, this is an adjustment that he's making in game. Okay.
Mhm.
You're recognizing that for the second straight game, Byfield is doing very little at 5-on-5 as a center. So they're trying to jumble things up. They're trying to shuffle things up. And I can always appreciate this as a coach trying to get things going here and trying to jumpstart something. And so I don't hate this. And you don't know what you got until you test it out. And maybe we see what, Byfield has to offer here as a winger.
What's McDermott doing? What are you going to do, buddy? Copy, this was an amazing save.
Yep.
Byfield got a little lost in the defensive zone there. That's the problem there.
So
was when we
that's-
put him on.
Exactly, Russ. And that's the other thing is now he's going to have to make an adjustment as to his positioning and get pucks off the wall and things like that in the D zone.
All right, so Lazat, is this Fiala again? Yeah, Fiala. So they have made that switch. I think they're looking for a little bit more balance. That's probably what McClellan's going to say after the game. Is they're trying to look for a little bit more balance.
But we talked about that because they're really, there's the second line, the first line, and I would say the third line. But like I want to so have we? I don't think we've seen a fourth line yet in this period.
No, I haven't seen Kapari or Grunstrom.
So so it must be Jod centering that line or Kapari centering that line. And yeah, frankly, that's not going to do it either.
Yeah, we've seen Velarde and Fiala play pretty well together.
Yeah, I think, and again, remember, this is all makeshift. Like once Moore and Kaliev get back into this lineup, things are going to be a little bit more settled. But I think I really like, and you said it on the last pod. Like I gave, I put Iafallo down with Byfield, and you said Moore. I toyed with either one, but I
Yeah.
think if Byfield's going to be a center, he needs that. You know what he needs is he needs either Trevor Moore or Kevin Fiala is what he needs.
That was a good play by Mikey there.
Yep.
Renton stopping on a dime.
Much better by Mikey.
So Carter, yeah, I just saw that Carter. They gave the penalty to the guy on the bench for interference. He slapped the puck. He slapped it down before it got a chance to go out.
Oh,
So
I didn't notice that. Thank you,
I didn't
Carter.
notice that either.
I didn't
That's
notice that.
That's a good point. That's probably what they were talking about so much before they actually sent him to the box. Because I thought it was a clear penalty. I think the Kings still have a really good shot here. Just
Oh, sure. Listen,
don't make any mistakes. Keep it simple. It's a beatable team. That should be okay. There you go. Just let him go to work. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's a pass. All right, 14 minutes left, third period. Only down one. That was a big goal to get early.
Yep.
Ooh.
Nice. Oh, good look.
Oh,
Though. Good look, though.
still
Who
got
made
it.
that pass? Grunstrom? Good look.
I feel like I'm like 10 minutes or 10 seconds behind you guys because
I'm at
That wasn't
13.
icing? How was that not icing?
I'm at 13:55.
13:53.
Yeah,
that's
you're ahead of me.
exactly where I'm at. That's
Yep, me
exactly where
too.
I'm at.
Yep, we're all within like 2 seconds.
Oh, there you go.
Mm. Good keep by Dersey. I'm going to point out all the positive things Dersey does because everybody's going to point out his negative.
Damn, yeah, he deserves it. Man, it's just so weird
And
to
we'll
see
mute
Byfield-
and we'll mute Joe. Oh, sorry, Joe. Did you get muted? Just kidding. Go ahead. Jersey positive. Shoot it out.
Byfield making things happen.
Go ahead,
keeping
Joe.
them in.
The Jersey positive train, man.
See?
Byfield's having a really good game.
Well, the thing, Russ, is like he plays that he plays that winger style,
Yeah, he does.
and I know that's not what any of us want to hear. And I'm not saying that I'm willing to put him there and give up on him as a center, but he plays that really.
It's crazy because this is all like what we were talking about, like at the first period, how he's just like not really coming back to the puck. He's not being supportive as a centerman. It's not things you want to see from your center.
Mm-hmm.
Now you stick me at the wing, and you don't have to worry about that anymore.
And again, like
Mikey just went for a big hit there.
you should give this is something that is going to go totally unnoticed. I shouldn't say unnoticed, but if they lose this game, it'll just be forgotten about. But like this is Todd McClellan trying to see something different and trying to see if something works. And I think like
That'd definitely be interesting to see what he has to say about it after the game. I mean, he'll probably Quentin's probably playing a good game. You want to give him more ice time, maybe look for, like I said, look for more balance with Fiala.
Well, and I'll say this, the question for me, like, yes, I'd be curious his thoughts on how this move to the wing for this period, whatever in this game, but I'd be more curious his thoughts tomorrow, like after he's watched the video, because you always
see how they
watch
line up
yeah,
for Saturday.
like Well, you always see more in video. Like as a coach, you get out of the game and you have this immediate like, I think this guy played well. We talk about, I think this guy played well, but then you watch the video and it's like, oh well, actually, you see different things in a different way, right? So I'd be curious to know what he thinks immediately, but then also what he thinks tomorrow. Like, what was the after watching the video? What did you see of Quentin Byfield on the wing? And it's you don't want to go too crazy because it's just a period here, but yeah, I agree. Like, you want to get into his brain a little bit.
So McClellan didn't skate the fourth line for a while there. Now they got in 2 straight shifts here. I think he liked what he saw in the last shift.
And this is a game. This is a good point game. Like if you get to the extra period here, this is a good point.
Oh,
Jesus, God, good Lord, what a save!
He's so good. He's so good.
So Trent just popping in here saying that he might have missed it, but is QB on the top line now?
He is. At least for the start of this third period, he is. That's why.
So there's those Ryan Clough vibes all over again. I think someone mentioned that. That's crazy.
I actually hate Ryan Hunt right now. Is it Ryan or Brian? Whatever it is.
Dryden Hunt.
Dryden, whatever it is. That annoys the hell out of me.
All right, let's do a little bit of get to know the hockey royalty, people.
Favorite hockey stadium you've been to?
Oh man, I still haven't been to MSG. I feel like I would really like that one, but when I've been to, it's hard to top Staples Center or Crypto. I mean, guess I'm biased there. I don't know. Mullet Arena was pretty fun.
This is tough. I have been to MSG. That is excellent. But in terms of atmosphere, now in fairness, the game I was at MSG, the Rangers were by that point not in the playoffs. In terms of atmosphere, Philly is incredible. Boston is probably my favorite place to watch a game. The loudest building I've ever been in is Buffalo. That place, when that team is good in playoffs, forget about it. And I've been to Toronto. Very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. Very, very quiet for much more suits, if you will.
Yeah. Kind of get that vibe on TV too.
Yeah, it is. Philly are a bunch of animals.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Animals.
For
as
games,
advertised.
Oh.
For games and just the atmosphere in general, I'm going to be biased a little bit because I haven't been to a lot of stadiums, but Dallas is legit. Like, if anybody's wanting to go see a game,
I've heard Dallas is good too.
The music's good, atmosphere is good, food and
that's
bars around the stadium is good, and it's close. Like the arena is just seems intimate, which is fantastic.
Those
people in the
offenses
chat
and penalties are killing.
Hey, we got people in the chat. Throw it in. What's your favorite stadium?
Yeah, they threw a couple: T-Mobile, Bridgestone, Old Joe Louis.
I've heard nothing but incredible things about Nashville. I haven't been there. I have been to Buffalo, Philly, Boston.
Oh man, that's such a cheap penalty.
That's a tough one. Ottawa. Ooh, that's a bad. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
Yep. Fun fact about Ottawa: it was when Daniel Alfredson was playing. He could be the most dominant player I've seen live in person.
Really?
Ridiculous. He controlled I watched the Kings game there, Terry Murray Kings game. He controlled the entire game. It went as he dictated it.
It's a player I have to go look back on more.
So good, so smooth, so good.
All right, PK, we're gonna have to step up here.
Yeah, this is obviously a big kill.
This is the biggest kill of the game for sure.
Yeah. There you go. Oh,
I guess you could argue the best kill of the game was the first kill when they scored a power play go on, but
dude, Mark McCarr's not going to come off the ice this entire power play. There you go. Edler with the nice stick.
how have you guys not left your seat? Like I've gotten drinks and I've
I don't
went
know.
to the restroom.
I'm
And,
just
like,
chilling. This game's kind of flown by here.
you get
Trent,
the bladder.
I'm with
you get
you,
the bladder
Trent.
of a camel.
Montreal is a bucket list for me too, Trent.
There you go. Good penalty kill so far. Yeah, I've heard Bell, was it Bell Arena?
Bell Center. I mean,
Bell Center? I've heard that place is
just on
a
TV.
fire environment for a hockey game.
And so when I was in Philly, fun fact, I actually stayed. A buddy of mine is good friends with Clark MacArthur.
Oh, there we go.
And
This
Come on,
is
we
what
ended
you
Kupari,
wanna see
drive,
from Kupari.
you bastard.
That's what you want to see from Kupari.
I
like
like Kupari. We ended up staying with Hartnell in his
Oh, nice.
loft in Philly. And he said, like, Montreal's ridiculous. That was his favorite as a road player with Montreal.
Steve comes in, and Montreal is rather quiet for 22K because every single fan is laser focused on the game.
That's pretty good.
It's like a library in there.
And I'm a sucker for the Ole, I'll be honest.
And do they still boo the best player on the opponent team? I
Probably.
thought they were doing it for a while.
I've been to
Ja-
St. Louis.
Jael
That was a
always
good penalty kill.
Jael
was a great
always
penalty
coming
kill.
in with the muscles. Every time he comes in, he's always got the muscles, man.
He
You
does.
working out? What's going on?
I like it. I love it.
Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Oh, please don't be another penalty.
Oh, there we go. There we go. A little washed out.
Use that body.
Ooh,
There you go,
little
Velarde. Go
dingle
to work.
dangle 13. A little dingle dangle 13. There we go. That's an interesting threesome. I don't know if that was on design, but
That was the penalty kill.
Yeah.
Go hard, Dewey.
Fiala, Deneau, and Velarde, that would be an interesting line right there. Joe's taking a deep breath because
Oh,
he doesn't
man.
know how that would be.
2 4-checkers. We can't find an open man here. Come on. Oh, they're going for changes.
Middle of the
Ooh.
line change, yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think about that line? If that was a line,
And they got the
Deneau, Velarde, Fiala.
I don't know. I think it was just the penalty kill. I think it's just
No,
Fiala's-
I'm saying
I don't
if it was
want-
if it was a line. What would you think about it?
not a.
I mean, I think it would be perfectly.
you don't need Fiala
Fine.
with to know.
That's took the words right out of my mouth, Russ.
There you go. All right.
Like
stretch.
Deneau's turn.
Tough stretch
Yeah.
here for the Kings, by the way.
Yeah, Philly,
Really
Dallas,
good.
Boston. Yeah.
After Philly, you got to win Philly at home, but that's a tough run the rest of the way.
And Avs has scored 4 goals, but it doesn't feel like they've scored 4.
I hate
It's just the McCarr X factor.
Can't they try to clear that?
John?
Oh,
Get on a body there, Kobe. Come on.
got tipped.
He's so good. There you go, Mikey. All right, 6:39 left. Heading to media timeout. Let's see how Byfield's been playing today. Let's take a look at the stats.
All right, yeah. Stat it up there, Russ. Instead of getting to know the hockey royalty, let's see how Byfield's doing. Let's get a little update.
The Maple Leafs refuse to beat the Arizona Coyotes.
Good. They deserve it.
Driving me nuts.
So the Coyotes, if they hold on to win that game, they will have beaten Boston, Florida, the Kings, and the Maple Leafs all at home.
Colorado.
Pretty good. Colorado.
Didn't they just beat Colorado at home?
They did beat Colorado. I think the Islanders. I don't know if that's.
Am I the only one that wants Toronto to lose forever?
No,
I want them to be the Chicago.
you're in the
Cubs.
majority there. You're in the majority.
I want them
there.
to win. I want Toronto to win tonight. I can assure you that.
Byfield's on ice stats actually aren't that impressive, but
What about this?
I think he's made
Well, look
more
at-
happen on the power play. I'm looking at 5-on-5 stats because
Yeah.
he's only says he's only got 5 minutes of 5-on-5 time.
That's probably about right.
Mason coming in here. Juice is going to tie it up, calling it. So he's hoping for a
Love it.
little something there.
Hopefully a little earlier than a empty net.
All right. Really quick, get to know the Hockey Royalty people. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Russell.
I'm a seafood guy. Fish.
Oh, fish. I'm a steak guy too. All right. There we go. Byfield biting his tongue. He seems upset for no reason whatsoever.
So he's gonna stick with this for the rest of the game. That's I wonder what message this is sending to Quentin too.
Hey, you just got healthy. You're just going to bury him on the end of the bench?
Well,
I mean, what a bunch of everybody was calling out, asking with the pitchforks out for his ice time last game. Like, can't complain now when he's playing on the first line.
I'm sharpening my pitchforks here.
Torches are gassed up and ready.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad. Oh, here we go. The Sean Walker experience. All right.
It got cleared.
Whoa.
It got cleared, Russ. It got cleared. Don't worry about it.
Just tried to kill McClellan on the bench.
Yeah, New Hook. Assassination attempt by New Hook. FBI, if you're listening, which I know you are because it's the United States. Let's go get New Hook for that. Yeah.
Oh, so they're rolling with. All right. So the Lizotte line's out there with Fiala and Velarde.
that line's been good.
Ooh.
Lizotte
There you go.
making things happen. I kind of like Lizotte and Fiala. That I kind of do like.
Was that a designed face-off for Velarde
It
where
looked-
Lizotte was on the wing?
It looked like
That's
Because of
what
the
Lizotte
side?
was trying to do.
no. Lizotte has been playing center. He's been taking a lot of the face-offs.
Yeah.
Come on now. Blake's like, don't worry, I got this.
Carter scores coming in with some dark humor.
Dude, Blake
What
is
if
on it
Todd
today.
benched Edler for the rest of the season?
Oh! There it is. Sean
Walker.
Walker out of everybody.
Walker silencing the haters.
The Sean Walker experience comes through. The Blake Lizotte. That was all made. Blake Lizotte was underneath the Kings goal line. Look at this. Calls for the puck in the middle of the ice. Look at this. Beaver taps. Stick handle around the blue line. Easy feed. Oh, that was
Ooh,
Fiala
toe
with a
drag.
nice little feedback.
Oh, toe drag for Walker there.
That was nice by Walker.
What a shot.
Dude, so McClellan seems like when these line changes, they work out every time. Every time.
You forget the dark days, man. You forget the dark. We're riding the highs right now.
I know it's so. Oh no,
Mm.
Sean Dursey, you're killing me, buddy. You're killing me. Trying to give you praise here.
You're killing him.
This is a pro Sean Dursey live stream.
By 2/3 of this establishment.
Steven says, Rob says, see Arizona? Walker can score too.
Yeah, trade
That's a good,
for him.
See?
Arizona
Don't need
is
another first round pick.
5-3 on Toronto.
Wow. So Toronto is going to lose to. Look at that stretch by the Coyotes. Last 3 home games, all wins.
If you get Logan Cooley and Bedard, like, how could you not be more excited for the?
Not going to
Arizona
get
Coyotes?
Bedard to keep winning these games.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Everyone
that's why
assumes Bedard's going to Chicago, which I think that would be a perfect place for him.
it would be a perfect place for him. His development that would be anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Illuminati that people think that the NHL is. That would be the number one destination for Bedard. But if it gets him out of the Pacific, I really don't care. If it's not Vancouver or
San Jose or
oh my god!
Anaheim.
If it's San Jose, like this, it's going to be anarchy in here. But you got Fantilli, you got Carlson, which are esteemed guests on the podcast. Sixten Funquist said that he's just as good as those guys. He's just not as well known.
Yeah, he turned us on to Carlson. Shoot, 2 years ago.
Yeah, when we started, he's like, "Hey, this guy Leo, he's 16. He's going to be a thing, and he's
a thing.
He's top 2 right now because a lot of people are saying he's overtaken Michkov. He's the best European skater in the draft. I don't know if that's political or if that's truth based on skating, but it's he's definitely top 3, and he's not 3 on a lot of people's opinion. So if San Jose gets him, it's not like they're downgrading that much. So do you think that Bedard has had as much pressure on him since he's the most pressured draft pick since Connor McDavid?
I think he's the most hyped draft pick. I don't know about pressure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's hard to say. I think all first round picks. Look at Lafreniere. I think Lafreniere probably has more pressure.
What if he goes to Vancouver? He's a Canadian in Vancouver.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think all first round picks maybe have more. It's I think maybe it depends more on the destination too, because Lafreniere is in New York, and look what he's doing.
Nothing.
That's a lot of pressure. I mean,
Yeah, but if it was Canada,
Owen Power was in Buffalo.
So if Bedard, he's a Canadian and goes to Vancouver, that would be the pinnacle there, right? Yeah. But if he goes to Arizona, then he's got ASU sorority sisters to bed. So
These passes by Arvidsson.
you know, it's a weird thing
What a
that
play by Walker.
at points in the
Mhm.
season that we've wanted to trade everybody, but they've all had their moments, like for stretches of games. It's so weird.
It's the thing with Walker's been playing good the last couple games.
Good trade
Gotta
him.
give him his due. Once again, I mean,
Because my boy Clark has got to play.
He had his misstep on that 4-on-4 goal, but dude, that's a wicked shot there. Oh, come on.
Oh my God.
That was so dirty.
That toe drag. Whew.
And that's why you pay him the money.
Uh-oh. Don't get lost now. Dude, Fiala. Guy's feeling it.
See, I know there's games where Fiala tries that stuff and he can't do it. Like he's not on his game. But when he's on his game,
See,
you can't stop him.
I hate when there's nothing bugs me more in hockey when as a defenseman, you know that your team is going off for a change, yet you still force that up ice pass. So it's like, I think Doughty is one of the best players in the NHL, reading the play, knowing when to slow it down, regrouping. Let's look what that led to. Led to an entire shift in the defensive zone for the I-follow line. Oh, there you go. Walker again. And
he again
gets a
did
penalty.
nothing good. Yeah, Walker is now traded.
Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? I'm trying to praise you here, and then you take a late game penalty. Just so demoralizing.
Carter scores coming in. Yeah, Brent Clark.
Just like
Brent Clark is playing with scrubs with the Canadian national team. Get him back in LA already. I agree.
Man.
Get him back here. Clark
is
I've
so
trained.
mad he has Walker out there that late in the game to reward him, and then he gives him that. He's kicking himself.
Mason Jeffrey comes in. Walker's all over the stat sheet. Penalties, goals, assists. He's all over it.
McClellan knew it too. You can see by his face. Like I reward this guy, and he gives me this bad penalty at the end of the game.
Cue McCarr goal here in the next
Got to get a body on McCarr.
141. Yeah.
All right. Kobe with the nice shot block there, McCarr. That's definitely who I want guarding McCarr. I
McCarr's
say that
so
with a
silky.
little bit of sarcasm.
So silky.
Very nice play, Edler. Edler's had little sneaky plays today.
So
Joe's
far, so
still
good on
salty.
this kill.
Joe-
So far, so
Joe's
good.
still salty about the Maple Leafs losing to
I
the
am
Coyotes,
very
I can tell.
salty about the Maple Leafs.
Joe, your money does not come into this podcast, please.
Yeah, no one cares, right?
You made that as a grown man decision.
Blake Lizotte. Excellent penalty kill so far. This would be a big point, like Joe was talking about. If they can come out of here with a point, you have Philadelphia coming into town on Saturday.
You got being down
Point streak
4-2.
alive. Still a minute left. Yeah.
Would you have said if we got 1 point in this game pre-game, would it be a big point, or would you have only said that
Yeah, I
because
think-
of the way the game came in?
I think either way, I think if you just grab a point traveling to Colorado, I mean, look at their recent games there.
I would have
Happy
taken
about that.
Yep.
All right.
I would
Yeah,
have
for
taken a
sure.
point.
Charges.
There you go. I
loses-
follow. Oh, how do you not get a penalty there?
Ooh. That was
We definitely got bailed there.
wow. How do you not call that?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, somebody tapped that.
oh my Lord.
Somebody tapped that
Appreciate-
out. I couldn't tell who it was, but
I appreciate the referee listening to us, hoping the Kings get a point here.
Ooh.
Please don't let Andrew Cogliano beat you.
I love Russ's hatred for Andrew Cogliano.
Oh man. Come on. 5 seconds. It's tied up.
It's the OT Kings.
Okay.
Hey, let's go. That's a massive point. Massive point.
OT. Hey, so
All right.
so quick
I'll be
question
back right
here.
before OT.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead, Joe. So Russ, do you think
Mm-hmm.
we are a smart hockey team, according to Stereophon? First comment here that I'm throwing up here for him. Do you think we're Do you think we have a lot of intelligent hockey players? I think we do.
Yeah.
I think our team
Yeah.
is very heady. I think that's how they draft.
Mhm.
Character and
That's probably why we've
space.
That's probably why we've seen them struggle at times too. Oh, we got to update the scoreboard. We're going to OT here.
Oh shit! All right, yeah.
But that, here, I'll go ahead and get it. But that's
All right,
probably
you got
why we've seen them struggle at times, is because they are such a thinking team that when we've seen them maybe overthink, it's kind of hurt them a little bit, right?
It can be. I think the fact that that's why Fiala is such a great outlier to this team, right? Not to say he's not a smart player, but he seems more skilled than smart. Like he's skill forward.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I think it's different for this team, which is well warranted. All right, throw in the chat, everybody in the chat here. Where's the Kings overtime goal coming from? Let's do it. Where do we think the goal's coming from in OT?
You will get a
What
high
is-
five from one Joe Paterino if you get it right.
Yeah.
And that is
Virtual-
worth some
virtual-
money,
virtual.
my friends.
Stereophon, no, but it was a good question though, because I think a lot of people have, how
Byfield? I
head
like
smart
it.
is the team. So
Kempe.
Mason Jeffrey saying Juice.
Who do you
Trent,
start? Let's see who starts here. That'll be
Juice.
interesting.
We got Dano. We got Walker. We got a Walker question mark. So is that facetious?
I
Fiala.
think it's just kind of like Dude, was it Shankmaster that said Walker
Oh,
over under 2 goals
Jolly
tonight?
coming here. Kempe on minute 2. He's calling the minute that it's going down. I like
All
it.
right,
I
let's see
like
what
it.
we got here.
All right,
McCarr
here we go,
starting, of
boys.
course.
Kings Avalanche overtime. Hey, let's go.
McCarr over under 4 minutes. Dano, Arvidsson, and Dowdy. Okay.
That's what they went with last time too. I thought.
Slow it down, Harvey. Slow it down. Slow it down.
I know you guys are watching too.
Don't
But
force it.
does anybody have Dano's face-off stats for tonight?
Don't.
I'll take a look.
Because we talked about in the last podcast who was hot at the face-off circle should be the guy that leads overtime with all these overtimes we've been having.
See, yeah, reset. There you go. Smart decision by Kopi there.
Getting a new guy in there. That's a Kopi Kempe. No, that's
Opie was
Right.
63% from the dot. Dano was 52.
okay. So no, there you go.
Smart. There you go, Kempe. Reset. Take your time. Don't force anything. Take what they give you.
Oh, the goal was off. Goalie was off balance. What a shot! That was a good shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was going one way. Roy, if he was any sort of a snipe smith, he would have had that. But McCarr's been out here
Fiala.
for hey, you called it, Russ. McCarr's been out here for a full 2.5 minutes.
So I follow Fiala and Walker are on the ice right now for LA. This
So
could still
no,
do.
so no Dersey.
Yeah, no jersey yet, huh? Think McClellan is giving Walker one final chance before he puts him back in the doghouse?
I kind of want to see Dersey in 3-on-3, personally.
Oh,
Oh,
Nice back.
McCarr did come off the ice, by the way. Devon Taves is out there.
I think T-Mac has a bromance with Walker. So there's no way all of him starting is all Rob Blake at this point.
How about these last, 4 or 5 games now? It's all been like 1-goal games going until the final few minutes.
We've had so many overtime games in the last month. We have to be the most in the league.
Yeah.
Do you think we can call up Lias Anderson for a shootout goal if this thing goes to overtime?
And no Trevor Moore either.
Yeah.
Give Byfield a chance.
yeah. I mean, he is. I was just thinking him. He's not going to touch the ice.
You know what's so crazy is that, like, ooh.
Oh, good
Ooh.
block. Good job, Dowdy.
Ooh, little tap back in, Arvidsson.
Arvidsson between the legs. Yep, there he
Oh!
is. That's a given every time he has it on that side.
Dustin Brown used to be really good at that.
He used to, I don't know about really good, but he definitely used to do it. He definitely
Fair
would do that move as much as he could.
Fair enough.
Arvidsson, that's a pretty much a given. Oh, man. McCarr.
Eesh. He just beat 2 guys there, too. Yikes.
Oh, what a save.
Yeah,
by
because
Kobe.
Kopitar just went for
And
a
it was lost.
swim.
Oh, there's Dersey.
Oh,
Here we go.
Kempe. He knows he missed that.
Oh,
He knows he missed that. This has been a fun OT.
yeah.
There's so much fucking speed in this OT right now. I love it.
Good stick.
Ooh,
Good
nice
stick,
poke. Nice
fella.
poke. Nice poke.
Money.
Settle her down. So not like get.
Fiala's going to
Yeah.
take this all away. He's going to take it himself.
He's ISOing like Kobe.
See, I wouldn't have put Deneau on the ice here.
He's going to ISO like Kobe. There we had I called. Oh, okay. I'll say I called it. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, we leave
That
it to
was-
Roy for the final shot.
that
Come on,
was
Kobe.
cute, Matt Roy. That was. All
All right.
Shootout.
All right. So let's call who should be the first shootout person.
Single Byfield.
Byfield's so great at the shootout, I think. Was that a joke? Or is that
I
not?
think I don't think Kopitar has gone in the last couple shootouts. Am I wrong on that? Like I don't.
No,
But he's failed, but he's over 33% in his career. So that's
I'm a
pretty good.
Kopitar shootout guy, so I'm going to say Kopitar should go. I'd like
But he
to
has
see-
the same move every single time. It's like he tries to fake and split the goalie 5-hole. That's his move.
That's the lefty move. That's my move.
can
That's what
opener.
That's what we do. When it works, it looks gorgeous. When it doesn't,
All right, we got a lot of names here. We got a lot of names. Shootout. Velarde, Kempe, Velarde.
I'd go
Arvidsson.
Velarde, Kempe, Kopitar in no particular
Oh.
order.
That's the whole. I said, who's going to go first? So you're gonna who would you set first? You got to set the tone in the shootout.
Kopi.
Kopi, I'm going to go Velarde. If I was Colorado, I would go McCarr. He's feeling it.
He's got to be close to 30 minutes tonight. But Velarde's going.
There we go, Gabe.
McCarr's at 27 minutes and 51 seconds.
He's such a savage.
All right, let's see, Gabe. Maybe a little forehand, backhand.
33%, not bad at all.
Oh,
Shoot it.
Georgiev read that.
Mm.
Georgiev read that. All right.
Not good enough from the get-go. No, not even a flinch from the goalie.
Yeah, he was on that the whole
Not
way.
a horrible move. Like he had a pretty.
No,
good-
yeah, that was just a good save. All right, Copley.
Is this the first shootout for Copley?
Maybe.
No,
No,
he was in Boston.
he was in Boston.
and San
Okay.
Jose.
I know we've had a lot of overtime, so
Yeah, and San Jose. That's right.
okay.
Copley
What a
read it too.
What a recovery by Copley there. That
Yeah,
was
he
nice.
bit a little bit, but he still recovered on that backhand. That's beautiful.
Oof. Yeah, nice save.
All right, let me go VA. Come on.
Okay. I don't know if I love Arvidsson, but
For
Nice.
his second child.
Nice.
For his second child on the backhand.
Beauty.
I actually hate when players go wide like that, but that was a nice move. I'm actually really surprised that Georgiev bit
Little
on that.
half angle. Little half angle.
That little flinch he made on the forehand
Mhm.
got Georgiev down. He was
He's doing a little
In
grunt
like
yeah, I
Flynn
got
after
him.
that.
I got him.
Copley.
Oh, knew
He's
that
so
from
good.
day one.
He's
Day
so
one.
good.
Got the lettuce coming outside the back of the helmet. Randy
yeah, he
will go
looks
back to
good.
Finland.
He looks really good in goal.
A little flinch there, but
Didn't move really.
no, he didn't.
Not much.
Still got up too in case he elevated that. Kempe scores for the winner. Hey, let's go! Let's go!
LA. All right. Let's do it.
What
Look
a
at him.
comeback win!
Juice, baby. Win.
What a comeback win!
Woo! Kempe. Mother effing yes from Mike Earth. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. A solid 2 points. Let's stay in the chat. Throw your questions in going forward. Let's be happy. Let's be merry. Hey, cheers.
Celebratory drink.
Cheers.
Love
to
it.
the Hockey Royalty crew here. Love
How about that for the first watch party for Hockey Royalty?
It's a great win.
Let's get a
Two-goal
W.
third
Let's
period
get a
comeback win.
W.
You saw
Go,
Byfield
Kings,
get
go.
elevated the
Yeah,
first
baby.
line.
Juice. 5-hole. Together we are Los Angeles. I love it. Hey, you guys in the chat, you guys make us what we are. We really appreciate you guys coming in for the first inaugural chat here. But I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, if
And
you haven't
appreciate
liked
the
and
win.
subscribed to our channel, that we'd
Yes.
appreciate if you did that. Like and subscribe, please.
And tell everybody in your family, in your friend group that, hey, we are
It would go a long way.
the bee's knees.
You guys want to do a little recap real quick this game,
Yeah.
and then we can hop out of
Yeah.
here? Let's
Let's
talk
do
about
it.
it real quick. So, man, a bunch of weird stuff happening tonight during our first live stream. First, you have Quinn Byfield be moved up to the first line with Kopitar and Kempe. Sean Walker scoring the late game tying goal. How about that? Blake Lizotte making things happen. The power play making things happen.
Yeah. Like you said, Russ, a lot of things going on. Where to really begin? I think I'm gonna. I want to go to, and maybe this is going to lead to a discussion that's for another day. But the move of Quentin Byfield, shuffling it up and moving him to the wing, and maybe we'll learn more as we go along here the next day or so. But is this something where McClellan just isn't seeing enough out of Quentin Byfield, the individual, as a center? Or was this something where we're down and let's just try to shake things up here and try to see if we can catch lightning in a bottle?
I'm gonna go C here, Joe.
Okay.
I'm gonna go option C. Is that sometimes, in sports things are mental. You're in your head, you're doing this or that. Hey, first period, only a minute of play. He was, injured, coming back from injury. What if he's just trying to get him to play? What if he's just trying to get him to play hockey? Hey, play wing, just play hockey. Let's do this. Like, get some game going, get some confidence going. What if it wasn't a statement play at all? Just him trying to get him to love the game and be a part of the game and have the talent that he has on a different line.
Yeah, and that's what we'll learn more, right? As we'll see what tomorrow brings. We'll see what Saturday brings if they decide to, keep him there. If they decide to go.
What do you think about that? Do you think you as a coach, you're a coach? Do you ever just throw a player on a line to give him a little confidence, little something? I mean, or is that just is high school to the NHL just so far different to where maybe
what I will say is there are times, and I think this is a fair question. There are times because there's a couple players right now that I can tell you right now, thinking of on the team that I coach, that you try to find spots to get this kid. Like, this.
I'm pumped too, Mike. I'm pumped too.
Like you
Sorry,
want to get this kid on the ice, right? Like, find a spot for him. And if like there was, so yes, I think there's something to that, to where you're trying to get this guy on the ice, you're trying to get him involved in the game. So I don't think that's like totally far off there, Brandon. I think it's a combination of things, probably of them wanting to try to get him involved in the game. It wasn't clicking to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if they're winning, they don't do this. But the fact that they were losing, it was an opportunity for McClellan to say, you know what, we're gonna throw some out there.
the stat of the game for Shinkmeister is Joe has never had enchilada. that is a
that was
stat.
the highlight of the stream. Don't forget about the two goal comeback win late in the third. Joe has never had enchiladas, and that is something everybody will talk about.
Yeah. So do you think Copley starts Saturday? I would go with Quick for the balance and rest. But where do you ride? Do you ride it? A day off? Do you keep riding, or do you go Quick?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think you just have to keep riding Copley. They're winning games with him in net. As much as we want to keep Quick involved, I don't know. Your team's playing pretty well with Copley and net. It's hard to take him out of there.
I think because they don't play again till Tuesday, I feel comfortable with going with Copley. Like if they had to turn around again, either on
Yeah.
Sunday back to back or a Monday, even with the travel, I would say maybe lean to Quick. But I got no problem with going with Copley here.
He says Saturday, so they do not play Saturday.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Saturday's their next game. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
what
don't
I'm-
play
what-
again after that till Tuesday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is because there's those 2 days, I got no problem giving Copley the nod, and then again they don't play till Tuesday, and assume Copley has a good outing on Saturday. I go again Tuesday. Like the Kings don't have the luxury of playing like a 1A 1B because they don't have it. They gotta play with who's playing well. Okay, no, that's confident.
Guys,
Is it
right
me only
now,
with static? Wait, sorry, is it me only with static here?
I think it's Joe's mic a little
It
bit.
might be me.
All right.
It's all good. But guys, we are almost at New Year's Day, and your LA Kings are 2 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights for first place, with Vegas having a game at hand. Did you think that was a possibility this early on in the season? Because I sure as hell didn't.
Russell, I did.
You thought they could turn it around and be this good?
Well, no, I
Or
thought in the
be-
beginning. I thought in the beginning of the season we would be at least second or first.
I mean, I thought Vegas would be running away with it, to be honest with you. And they're dealing with a lot of injuries that's kind of
So you're
hurt them a bit.
saying base, yeah, but we talked about that though. That they're a shell team. Like their whole team is based on if they're healthy or not. Like they don't have any depth whatsoever.
I know it's the Pacific Division coming down. Like some of these teams, like Vegas, dealing with their injuries, the Kraken coming down to earth a little bit. Calgary and Edmonton are still kind of finding their ways a little bit. This is a division that the Kings can easily take by the end if they can stay healthy. Even if they do go through some injury bugs, they have the depth to deal with it. And if Vegas, look what happened last year to Vegas. If that happens again, this could be easy pickings for the Kings here in the division.
I think Seattle is the team to watch out for, and I really the reason why I say this is because the development of prospects can be exponential. And if Matty Beniers finds another gear or his next evolution, watch out for that team because Matty Beniers is already legit. He's already better than Quentin Byfield. He's already better than Lafreniere in our draft. So if he finds that next gear, he finds that evolution, that team's going to be dirty, and watch out for them.
The two teams I would watch out for are Calgary and Edmonton. The reason I say that is because I think those are the two teams that are going to be very aggressive at the trade deadline and addressing their needs. I think Calgary is going to absolutely look for a top six forward. I think Edmonton is probably going to look for help on the blue line as well as.
So does Calgary get Kane, or do you think O'Reilly? Do you think they need a winger, or do you think they need a center?
Probably a winger. I think they would look for the wing. I think they could use a top six winger, maybe a Tarasenko. Something like that. Like I think, so I would say those two teams for the reason of like I think they will be more aggressive than even the Kings, for example, will be at the deadline. Like I still think the Kings are going to kind of do their thing, keep going what they're going. Maybe if they find that defenseman piece, great. Maybe they'll address a couple needs on the margins. But I think Calgary and Edmonton, like they have Stanley Cup aspirations. So I think they're going to be very aggressive, and I think they're going to look to get impact players at the deadline. So if you see these two teams start to string some wins together here, not only do I think particularly Calgary is a really good team, but I think they're going to look to add at the deadline.
We might see them add sooner than that. I would. I mean, if they can't really
fully soon or early last year,
right around the same time in December. Yeah, I mean, if they don't really find that consistency, I can see them. I mean, those are some. I don't know if the Flames are necessarily as desperate as it's weird because the Flames are an older team, it feels like, than the Oilers. But the Oilers have more desperation because of McDavid always there. You always want to win with him there.
Yep.
So I don't know. You could see those teams try to add like a John Klingberg type player before, like soon here, just to kind of upgrade, give themselves a little lift. But
these pressure bounces, I've been clicking this fucking stat. Or this comment like 3 or 4 times. Sorry.
No,
D Wall, yes, the Oilers and Flames are looking, but I didn't mean to press on you 4 or 5 times. Go ahead.
Russ.
You guys want to hear an interesting stat for the game today?
Yeah, let's throw it up.
At
Throw it up.
5-on-5, the Kings had one high danger chance in 5-on-5 during the game today.
Jesus.
Only one. That first one that came in the first period. They had none
That's
after
why
that.
that's why it's sports, man. That's so crazy.
Why it's sports. That's what Randon says. That's why it's sports. And there were no shots in overtime according to Natural Stat Trick. Is that true? I don't remember seeing
Well,
a shot.
if you have 5-on-5 labeled,
Oh, yeah, that might be true, huh?
because
Yeah,
then
there's no 5-on-5 in overtime.
There was two shots each. Sorry, you're right. I had 5-on-5 labeled. It's 3-on-3.
So
I've never watched an NHL hockey game before.
Speaking of stats, Russ, for the game, Blake Lizotte.
Go give it to me.
Oh yeah,
10 minutes.
Like
10:36 of 5-on-5 play, 9-3 Corsi 4, so 75%. He had 66% of the expected goals, 71% of scoring chances. The kid
Monster.
is a stud.
6 shots on goal with him on the ice, only 1 against.
He's
dude.
the player that I don't want on this roster, but I wish we never had. Wish we would never get rid of. Like you don't want Blake Lizotte. Like you're like, oh yeah, Blake Lizotte. Like let's not have him on the 3C. Let's not have him here. Like he should easily push down. But every game, he's like, yes, I'm here for a reason.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, Randy, because I totally get where you're coming from. But I think a lot of it just comes from the name. Blake Lizotte. We've heard the name Blake Lizotte so much. It's just ingrained into our brains that whenever we hear the name,
prospects to perform.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever we hear the name Lizotte, we're thinking, okay, fourth line center, blocking players like Turcotte, Byfield, blah, blah, blah. But I think we have to get away from that. And I'm going to start it today because Blake Lizotte
Carter scores. Lizotte for Selke.
Exactly.
Agendas.
He's been probably the best Kings player, one of the best Kings players on this team for the last couple of weeks now, for this whole stretch. Look at another game tonight. It's just an epic performance by Blake Lizotte where he's carrying this team and it was instrumental in that last tying goal for Sean Walker. He's an MVP of this team.
Mason Jeffrey coming in saying that he got ripped apart on your Twitter Spaces.
Probably not from Russ.
Not from Russ, but from other people. But
because I think hockey royalty in general,
we all love Lizotte.
We are on the Lizotte train. I think I know I love him and Russ. I think he brings a ton to the table at 5-on-5, and it's just he just answers the bell, right? Each year he gets overlooked, or fans want to overlook him or take him for granted, maybe is the better way to put it. But yet he just continues to perform, and he's elevating his game to now a level where he's playing third line minutes, and it's like he's still like, again, that 10 minutes and 36 seconds at 5-on-5 is 1, 2. Yeah, that was third among centermen on the team, and I think he had the highest in terms of shot attempts. And if you've got a guy that can control the play in the bottom 6, that's what you're looking for. He does so good. He's so good at that.
So no, given the political answers, well, we just kept playing our game, and we eventually turned around, and we got some key goals.
That was
not
not
true.
hockey responses.
Yeah.
So okay, how about this?
Go
ahead, Randy.
I would say this though. Thank you for all your fans. It's ticked up to a lot of you guys coming in after the game. So throw your questions in there. We'll answer as many as we can. Russ, go with your next topic here, please.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about what are the Kings going to do with Rasmus Kupari, because this is another kind of underwhelming game from him. 6:48 time on ice, 5-on-5.
He goes down.
Don't talk about my love like that.
He's waiver exempt, right? He goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think when you get these guys healthy, when Moore and or Kelly have come back, I think he's an easy send down, frankly.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. You have Lemieux available.
Yep.
Lemieux available.
More Kaliev. Jared Anderson Dolan's playing great. This is what we talked about like last pod, right? We talked about this a little bit.
Yep. I think that's the play. I think it has to be the play just because it hasn't been good enough. And I think, again, they're going to look to try to find a way, I hope, to get Byfield going, and we'll see what that means. Does that mean he's on the wing, or does that mean he's a centerman?
Sorry
I don't-
for all you watching. I was trying to
I
maneuver
didn't really
that on my
like
couch.
as fun as it was to see. I don't want to see Byfield on that first line again. Like I thought it
Agreed.
was cool. I liked it. If Trevor Moore is back Saturday, I'd love to see him play alongside Moore. We've talked about that on end. If let's get Kevin Fiala back up there. I don't know if it was more just a doghouse thing or McClellan just trying to shake things up. We'll have to see what he says at the post game, but getting Byfield to play with Moore, I think, would help. And then you get Kaliev back soon. This team's looking pretty good. The forward depth is pretty solid.
Yep.
I'm actually really liking it. This is probably one of the better forward cores they've had in quite a long time.
So a lot of people say don't rob Peter to pay Paul. But I would disagree with the Kings right now. I would rob Peter to pay Paul, and the fact that I would put Iafallo back with Byfield to get him going. When Moore gets back, we talked about it last podcast.
Yeah.
When Moore gets back, I would rob Peter to pay Paul and put Iafallo back with Byfield.
You know, that was my initial, but I actually, the more we talk about this, the more I'm on Russ's train here with.
And that's where we've stopped with. No, I was kidding.
Put more, because we've seen Iafallo be extremely effective with Danault, and so put more with Byfield. I think that could work really, really well. More Byfield Velarde, I think, is a hell of a line.
All right, let's throw in the chat for vote.
So Fiala,
Byfield Moore or Byfield Iafallo? What do you guys think in the chat? Go ahead, Russ.
So, one thing that's interesting though about all this is the move from Kevin. We've seen this already happen this season, right? Kevin Fiala gets moved down to the third line. All of a sudden, that's the best line on the Kings. They only had over 3 minutes and 30 seconds time on ice, 5-on-5. Talking about the Lizotte, Fiala, and Gabe Velarde line we saw late in the game. But it resulted in a goal, and it resulted in some multiple scoring chances for the Kings.
And three shot attempts for 0 against.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know.
Because Fiala, we talked about this weeks ago on the pod. Like, he's a guy, again, he leads the team in primary points. He leads the team in shot assists. He leads the team in shot contributions per 60. He drives play at 5-on-5, period. So you put him with guys to maybe get them going. Like, could you make the argument that he could play with Quentin Byfield? Is that the play?
Yeah.
Like,
is he the anti-couple? Like, we talk about pairs and couples or whatever.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's.
Is he the anti-one?
He's
he
so
can play with
dynamic of a player. He doesn't need to play. I mean, Fiala can play with anybody, I feel like, and he'll still make things happen. I don't know if he's going to elevate players more like Danault. Like, Danault can elevate his line mates. Fiala,
but I think Fiala can do the same thing. I really do. Yeah,
I think he's got more of a dynamic.
All right, we got some responses some responses in the chat before we keep going. Holden, when Moore gets back, put him on the third. We got Moore might get QB, could be good. He said, get the Vibe line back together. Byfield, Moore, Kopitar, and Fiala. Would that be a weird line? Would that be a weirdly hot line? I feel like Byfield and Moore there. Byfield and Moore. Byfield and Kempe can dance. All right, we got a lot of.
I'm a no on Byfield Kempe. I'm a
no on that too. Kempe needs Kopitar.
Kempe needs a Kopitar or a
any player.
He's got a fix and he knows where to get it.
I wouldn't be surprised to see, I wouldn't be upset to see Kempe play with Danault, because if you're talking about a player who needs someone to elevate his game, Danault is obviously the best player probably on the Kings that can do that, or best centerman.
Danault, Lizotte.
All right, so let's go switch it up here. What do you guys think the Kings do in net for next season? We've been talking about this constantly.
Dice, roll a dice, flip a coin. Who knows?
That's such a hard question to answer right now.
Because,
I mean, look at a month ago, did anybody think Phoenix Copley would be the Kings' #1 goalie right now? Ask me again in June. We'll see.
So we said let's get you updated there, Tom Cruise. Last podcast we said that the Kings should not sign Phoenix Copley until the end of the season. So if he's part of the discussion
We talked about so many UFA goalies that are there that are as good or better careers or much better careers than him. We also talked about is Jonathan Quick wanting to come back to Kings only? Is he wanting to play no matter what? There's a lot of stuff going on there. Is Cal Peterson going to have a career year in the AHL to where he's warranted another chance? Are the Kings going to buy him out?
Cal Peterson gave up 7 goals last night.
Yeah. So are they going to buy him out? So there's so much going on there that I think that none of us can give an accurate assessment right now with the team because I think there's so much up in the air.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Really it's well said, Brandon. There's so many. There's so much. Yeah.
I don't know. So back with Kupari. So you sent Kupari down. Let's say that Kaliev is out a little longer. I'd love to see Alex Turcotte get a look with the Kings. I think it's time to.
He's hot right now. He's hot. Yeah.
3 points in the last 3 games for him. I mean, they're not winning games in Ontario, but he's
Joe. If you say I just want him to be healthy one more time, I'm going to drop kick you through the screen.
I'm not going to say no because I you know what? I don't have a strong opinion on this because I just haven't seen enough of the rain this season to really have a strong opinion. So I'll say this. So you would you prefer him on the wing? Do you think he's?
Yeah, and that's the thing is like we're talking about a spot in the rotation right here
with
for
QB.
Kings that it's not going to be. I mean, you're not expecting a player like look at Kupari. He gave 7 minutes tonight. If Alex Turcotte played 7 minutes a night, 7-8 minutes a night, I would not be opposed to that. Give him 4 line minutes, and he's a player that can play 4th line type hockey in the NHL. I feel like I mean, at this moment of his career. So if you're looking to get his feet wet, like I wouldn't want a Samuel Fagemo or a Tyler Madden playing in that spot. I'd want like a more of a grungy player who's willing to get dirty. I mean, I'd love to see if Akil Thomas was healthy, I'd love to see him playing with the Kings.
But you know, I just feel like if they have again, well, you did mention that Kaliev was out for a bit, so that was your okay. So yeah, I guess if that's the case, then yeah, I can see that. I
don't want him taking over for like more.
Right. Because if Kaliev's healthy, then I got no problem with a, Lizotte, Kaliev, and then rotation of Grundstrom, Jod, Lemieux, however they want to do that. Byfield, Moore, Velarde, Iafallo.
I have a feeling Grundstrom's kind of playing as well, man.
All right, this is the weird question here from Big
4 minutes time on ice during 5-on-5.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing.
He's gonna go on waivers soon. So
this is a good question here. Do the Kings keep Byfield on wing for a little? Bring Turcotte in for 3. Is Turcotte more of a center, and then you put Byfield on the wing? Do you flip them? I mean, people have been thinking about because the draft stock, Byfield's the big guy, he's the center, he's this and that. Do you flip them and then the more go-getter Lizotte style player, do you play him on wing because he's a two-way guy and let Byfield just worry about the offensive game?
I mean, when Turcotte was drafted, everyone was comparing him to Johnny Taves. That was the comparison. But I don't know. I have that kind of mentality with Byfield than I do with Turcotte, where I would rather see Byfield playing center than switching him up wing and so on. Over
Is that
Turcotte.
Because of energy? Is that because of injury or no?
No, it has nothing to do with his injury. I just view him as that type of player. I mean, I view Turcotte as like that Trevor Lewis versatile player that you can play him wherever on the ice because he can kind of adapt and he reads the game really well. That's the thing with Turcotte. He's just been injured and gets himself into trouble and whatnot. But with Byfield, I mean, look at tonight. Like we were talking about him just going back and making himself an option in plays. And I think that's kind of what it's funny. I'm sure McClellan was thinking the same exact thing we were talking about, Joe, where we saw a play, Byfield goes down, Dursey takes the puck behind the red line, and Byfield's shooting up the ice, not giving an option to Dursey.
Yep.
So I want to see that get fixed in his game, but I still want to keep Byfield in center position. I don't want him moving over to the wing.
Agreed.
Dr. Nisei, we've been going on this game, and we already talk about Colorado, man. If get in the chat, appreciate
Dude, we're stoked. We're
stoked. We're stoked.
Yeah,
Was
this
it-
wasn't.
was it
This wasn't the
7
first
Yeah,
topic.
it wasn't the first topic, man. Get in here during the game, have a beer, and join us in the fun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 game
This
point streak.
I don't like this line at all. Turcotte, Lemieux, Grunstrom. That seems like too much
No,
He's saying,
frustration.
he's saying put him in
He-
that spot.
He's
Oh,
putting.
okay. Oh, so it's like that's not a line that I want to see. That's too much aggression, not enough scoring.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot
Alright.
from Grunstrom. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets placed on waivers
Would-
for
so
another player. Not
this
just
has been
not that I don't hate him, but
This has been
What we're
a
saying.
topic here. Now I've been saying I don't know, a lot of people who've been following Hockey Royalty since the start. Thank you for listening. Knows that a top 5 pick needs to play over 850 games to be successful. Consider successful. If Turcotte plays that in a middle 6, as this guy's saying, I'm saying the higher level. Is he the perfect 3C? Is he the perfect middle 6 player to where he'll be a franchise guy, but not the pinnacle player as we all suspect?
Well, I think our
Expectation needs to be altered a bit, at least right now. Like
Yeah.
we probably went through this with Velarde too, right? Where there was a time where we're like, okay, this isn't going to work, and all of a sudden he's turned into a heck of a player. But Randon, we can kind of go back to our conversations with Scott Wheeler, where it's like, maybe he is an NHL player. He is a letter wearer, like he's a captain-esque type of player, but more middle 6 than top 6. So I think that is a reasonable shout. I don't know that we're at the point in his career or his development to say definitively that he is ready or is going to be a 3C, or if he's going to be a winger, or where ultimately he slots. But I think right now it's fair to say he's much more middle 6 than top 6 at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
So NHL Stats just tweeted out the Kings earned their third multi-goal third period comeback win of the season. That's tied for their highest single season total in franchise history.
What?
We're not even halfway through the season.
So
They've had
so
three
we've given up
multi-goal comebacks.
so many 6-goal games, and we've also had that many comebacks. This team is just, it's fun and frustrating. That should be the tagline for this team: fun and frustrating.
That's exactly what this team was at the beginning of the year. I mean, it seems like they've gotten back to their, I don't want to say boring kind of hockey, but it wins games. That's what the Kings non-de-plum was for a while.
So I think that this is a game where you try to do that. And again, listen, the first period I thought was okay. The Avalanche were the better team the rest of the way, but the Kings did enough of keeping, like, what were the high danger chances for Colorado? So they had 5 in the second, but they only had 2 in the third. So the Kings did a good enough job at 5-on-5. That is, so the Kings did a pretty good job limiting things to the outside. They had single digits. Colorado did at high danger chances of 5-on-5. So, like, I think there's ways you play. I think the Kings have a unique ability, perhaps, to play a couple of different styles, given what they have up front, given what some of the skill that they have in the back end. And if you go on the road in Colorado, this is a game where you establish your 1-3-1. You try to limit the high danger chances. Like when Makar is on the ice, he's going to have the puck. But again, just limit those high danger chances. Let Phoenix Copley do the rest. I think overall they did a decent job of that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Copley had that one kind of hiccup, but overall, I thought he had another typical Phoenix Copley game from what we've seen from him. Cale Makar kind of took over for a little bit there and
typical
doing
response for Walker there.
Doing typical Makar things, but I think Copley was great. What did McClellan say?
It was like, oh yeah, like Carlin. Carlin was like, what do you feel like him like coming into the offensive play? He's like, oh yeah, players like him,
they can have their offensive moments, and he's coming back from this and that. Like, it was just a bunch of coach speak, which I'm starting to get upset with that. I thought McClellan was straight honest when he first started coming here, like he was direct. And now I feel like there's way more coach speak coming in from him. Like, how do you feel like that as a person who covers the team, Russ?
I don't know. He's a pretty good teacher. I think McClellan actually does a pretty good job explaining what's going on. I think he doesn't really probably give the answers that we want to hear, but I think he's still pretty good at. I mean, he's been direct, like with goaltending. When goaltending was bad, he straight up after the Ranger game, he said Cal Peterson needs to make that save. So you don't hear coaches say that often about their goalies. So I think there's been times maybe he does give like those typical like got to get it's cliches, whatever, especially after losses.
So it's a win. So it's a win. It's like, oh, hey, like, yeah, like this person wasn't that bad, but when it needs to be, okay, I can understand. Yeah.
I think there's not that many coaches that are willing to. I don't know. I think most coaches are going to be somewhat protective of their players. I think a guy like Tortorella will not be afraid, or like Tortorella and Sutter will do things in ways that are. I think they're going to try to distract rather than like throw people under the bus. McClellan is going to give somebody like coach speak. I think Bruce Cassidy is a guy that is not afraid to say this guy wasn't very good. So I just think it just depends on the coach. But McClellan, yeah, again, I'm kind of a fan of his. I think he's a good coach. I think he's been around in the league a long time. I think he's had a lot of success. And I think he's got a good process about him, just from the little bit that I've kind of, just listened to him and in various interviews and stuff. And I think he's a good coach. And I think whether or not he's the guy that can take the Kings to that next level, because that remains to be seen. But we all will have our frustrations with certain things with any coach. But I think overall, I think McClellan does a pretty good job.
All right, we got 2 questions to get us out here. Wait, Russ, do you have a thing before I get the questions?
Oh, I was just gonna say Colorado was 14-2 when leading after the third period or after the second period, heading into the game. Huge comeback.
All right. So here we go. So I'd like to see Turcotte with Kaliev. Do you think that Lizotte should be the center between them? Turk and Artie chemistry has already been shown in the past. You got 2 grave diggers in Lizotte and Turcotte that can facilitate, and Kaliev just trying to find all the areas. Would that be a 4th line in the future, in your opinion?
I'm not upset about it. I think Lizotte could benefit playing with helping out Kaliev. We saw him play with Kaliev and Arvidsson together. That line looked pretty good. So I'm not too upset with it. If you can have Iafallo or more play alongside Byfield and Velarde, that 4th line's not terrible.
In the future, perhaps. I just don't know. There's just too many bodies right now. There's no room for Turcotte. Unless, to Russ's point, his example, Kelly was out, so that this line wouldn't work. Yeah. I don't dislike the combo. It's just, what do you do with Lemieux, Grundstrom, Anderson Dolan? Yeah. Are you willing to waive them? Which maybe they will be. But that's what it would require.
All right, last trade discussion before we call it a night, guys. What would it take to get Ivan Provanov from Philly? Bad year, but a great talent entering his prime. What would it take, and would you be interested?
I have always the way I put Provorov is I like the idea of Provorov more than the actual.
Joe's getting into it. So if you have another 15 minutes, sit tight.
I want to like Provorov, and I want to think he's that guy, that missing piece that the Kings are looking for. But I am not sold that. I don't know that there's what that next level is for Provorov. So I'm only very mildly interested in him. I don't dislike him, but it's I don't know that he's the guy that I thought, because there was a few years back where I was like, this Provorov kid's going to be a stud. I would agree with Carter's scores that I like Sanheim over Provorov. I just haven't seen the Provorov yet. I haven't seen and I get it, he's on the Flyers, but like you can still recognize certain abilities or talents or whatever. I just haven't.
So would you take less cost for the trade, but more money?
Well, what is his contract?
So this is, I'll jump in here because I found it,
Thank you,
because this is, I'm with Jacob. With Jacob's comment here, I'll bring it up. Provorov is too expensive. I like Provorov as a player, and I would love to see Provorov on the team. I'm not paying Provorov another $6.75 million over the next 2 years.
Is that what he's at?
That's what he's at. He's got 2 more years left at that contract. Too expensive for me. Yeah. Great player. I just don't think he's worth that much money to trade.
And I don't know that he's a great
trade for. Yeah, and exactly. Like he doesn't the name doesn't jump out to me like I don't get too excited hearing about.
Would it take a first round pick from Philly? So the Kings get a first round.
I don't even care to talk about that because I'd rather have Jacob Moverari playing over Ivan Provorov on the team. That's how I feel. Why are you making a trade for a player like that when what are you upgrading? I mean, you're Dursey not playing the right or the left side. They've been winning games without him. I just like Joe said, he doesn't excite me.
I used to be way more into Provorov, but I just the last couple of seasons, like I'm not there with him. I'm not.
I think what the Kings are missing here, and I think it's something we'll talk about more as the trade deadline comes along. They're missing like a bottom 6 veteran presence, because right now they really don't have that besides maybe Brendan Lemieux. I don't know, a playoff experienced vet type player who's been there before. I don't even know a name to talk about, like a freaking Eric Stahl or Paul Stastny. I don't know. I'm thinking
like that not Pat Maroon himself, but that like
something like that. Yeah, like you're gonna play this player's he's past his prime. You're not expecting. He's not gonna cost much.
My thought on that though, Russ. My thought on that is you add that guy when you're like, okay,
that's what I'm saying.
We are ready, and I don't think the Kings are there to where they're looking to add that guy yet.
So I got
if they're winning the division, if they're close to winning the division toward the deadline, probably have to look at that. Though.
Well, hang on though. Well, let me ask you this: if they're in that division hunt, does that really make them cup contenders? Because
we've seen a team. I mean, we've seen a Kings team, an 8 seed, go all the way. It's hard, right? This team has shown the capability to just they took the Oilers to 7 games without Doughty and Arvidsson. You add Fiala, you add Doughty to Arvidsson.
Although you look at Colorado was cup contenders for 3 years before they actually won. So, I have a new idea here, though, boys. What do we think about the Arizona's left D1? How do you guys think that?
I don't know. I don't think we've talked about that enough. But it's weird though. Look at the landscape of the NHL right now. Who are the best teams in the league? Boston.
Yep. Despite how much I am they ruined my night, Toronto is still a really good team.
Carolina make things happen. Carolina
the thing is like in the Eastern,
super good.
In the Eastern Conference, I could probably rattle off 6 teams that are better than the Kings right now. But like in the East, with like you just said, with Boston, with Florida, I still think is really good. New Jersey is really good.
So I mean, that's the thing is like. I'm looking at the Western Conference standings, and there's some games at hand for some teams, but the Kings are in 3rd. They're 4 points behind the Stars and the Golden Knights. Yeah, that's crazy. The West is kind of weak.
The West is
weak.
Yeah.
Dallas, I need to see. I need to see all to the end of the season. I don't know.
Why can't I buy them? Why can't
exactly? I feel the same.
Why?
It's because of Sagan and Ben. That's what it is.
It is.
It's Sagan and Ben.
What about
Robertson is not a superstar as much as
he is a superstar.
Hintz is an absolute freak.
Robertson is a superstar.
And Rope is the most underrated center in the league, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Hintz is a stud.
Because there's players there that not a lot of people are talking about. And when you think about the Stars, you think about Tyler Sagan and Jamie Benn. and then you're immediately remembered about all their
They're having
and they're playing really good. They're having the Ryan Johansson, what was it, Matt Duchene type seasons that they had last year in Nashville. But I don't know. I'm not scared of Dallas, I guess, as much
got a
as
great
I love
goalie, they
Mason
got a
Marchand,
legit 1D. Like maybe we should be.
right?
So D Wall coming here. Main worry is that Kings waited 1 to 2 years for the rebuild. Kopitar and Doughty are just a Tad thing too old now. Still serviceable, but not number ones anymore. No, because they tried to win, because they won in 14. They were relevant, and then 17, it didn't work out. They got Kovalchuk.
They
Didn't
tried.
work out. They tried. That's not them overstating things. Now, there's a lot of people say, "Hey, I would have traded quick after 14," but how do you have the huevos to say that?
Yeah.
How do you say, "Hey, like, oh yeah, in hindsight, yeah, let's trade quick the number one goalie of the past 2 of 3 Stanley Cups for whatever ransom you want to throw out there"? How do you say that as a GM? You can't do that. So, they might have started it late. They might have did whenever that, but they did what it is, and they tried to make it work with Kovalchuk. And the thought was there. Like we weren't podcasting in this hockey royalty at that time, but the thought was there. Kovalchuk was a goal scorer. They needed goal scoring. They needed power play help. He was the exact piece to do that, but it didn't work out that way. And it is what it is. But
I mean, think about all the players that they did trade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think the
Muzzin,
Kings did
Martinez,
a
Toffoli,
pretty
Pearson.
the Kings did a pretty unique thing, I think, anyways, in that they rebuilt without tearing it down, because a true teardown means Kopitar's gone, Doughty's gone.
yeah, Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah.
Right. Like they didn't do that, and they had like a 2-3 year stretch where it was bad, but like
Would you have felt bad about that? Would you have felt bad that if they traded away everybody?
Yeah, I would have understood it, but it would have sucked.
It would have been tough because, I mean, Kopitar, he was like 29, 30 at that point.
Well, even if it was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's still
that's his.
playing
Yeah,
at
he
a
would
high
have been 29.
level.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's 35 years old.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking like-
Well, in the 5 years, 2017.
Oh, Doughty. Yeah, Doughty's 20.
Oh,
Doughty
yeah,
would have been 20.
Doughty is the one I'm thinking
But
about.
they've managed to stay, like they had a couple years where they were bad, right? And they've got those high picks and Turcotte and Byfield and Clark, whatnot. But they've now kind of done a pretty quick turnaround. I think a lot of that has to do with the moves Rob Blake has made. You look at the moves he made with Toronto alone, and what that's brought to the Kings. And then some of the draft picks and what they've done in some of the later rounds, like, they've managed to kind of restock here. But this kind of goes back to what we talked about, Russ. I think Russ, I don't want to speak for Russ, but this is why I was so in on Eichel, is because, like, there it is. He's ready. Like, you have your
Well,
one.
Joe, you and I were both.
I think Randon wasn't. Yeah.
But I wasn't in on Eichel. I was in on the fact that the hypothetical of the future, right? Like, what if the downfall of Kopitar is greater than we think?
Well, I not even.
What if that Byfield doesn't extend?
Well, what
if Deneau is not there? All these talks were happening when Deneau wasn't that person. So all these are what ifs in the Kings thing, and that's what I was saying with you, is that Eichel is a for sure elite talent.
It's more of, when the Kings are ready, are Kopitar and Doughty still ready? Like, are they still that impact player?
Well, Doughty maybe, but not Kopitar.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I still think at this moment, Kopitar is the best overall player on the team still. I believe that. So I still think they're like a couple of pretty significant pieces away from adding from being a true contender.
So let's look ahead here. So we got huge win tonight, obviously. Next on the sched, you have Philadelphia at home on Saturday. Day game.
Better win it.
We all know how much we hate those, but Philly's horrible. That's kind of a must. I don't want to say must win, but that's a kind of a need to win, right?
Yep.
Then a brutal week next week.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're talking about here. I guess this is the test. This is perfect, right? This comes at a perfect time. If you can win at Philly, if you can win at home against Philly, you have your time off that you've been talking about. You have all that rest that you've missed out. You get a couple days before you face against Dallas, best team in the Western Conference. Then Boston, best team in the Eastern Conference. Then you get in Vegas. Then back at home to Edmonton next Monday after that. This is so we talked about.
But then the Sharks, which is a rival and against a team that's playing well, and then the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a tough freaking stretch in January that they've got.
Exactly. So
as much as I want to hate to say it, would Timo Meier be the perfect cog to this offensive group?
No, he'd be a good cog to any offensive group. He's that good of a player.
No, I'm just saying, like this group needs that. He has so much finesse and grit and like just.
Well, I mean, the thing
he's
is,
just a great
Brandon,
player. Sorry, I mean, yeah. But.
No, right now this team, the forward group is looking great. There's not a lot of holes.
Yeah. I know. I just think he's a good player. Sorry.
Yeah, let's just add it, everybody. Why not?
But you know what? Like, to Randon's point, I guess, like, you see how much like Kevin Fiala elevates this team.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's like having Timo Meier over Victor Arvidsson.
So we talked about last podcast, like just a day ago, O'Reilly. Would Timo Meier be a better addition?
Listen, I don't think Timo Meier is going to happen. Okay.
No, I know, but I'm just saying this is
in theory.
Yeah, obviously, any team, Timo Meier would be
better than O'Reilly.
I don't probably. It depends on the team, but
yeah.
Okay.
But just to go back to the stretch here, this is coming at a great time because the Kings are playing well.
I'm excited.
No, you're good. You're excited. I love Timo Meier too. Especially when him not playing against the Kings would be great.
Look at the rest of January. So you have, like you said, Boston, Dallas, Boston, Vegas, Edmonton, San Jose, Jersey. Then it's Dallas again at Nashville. Okay, then you got Chicago and Philly. But then you're at Florida, at Tampa, at Carolina.
That southeast swing.
This is a tough month, fellas. Like this, we'll learn a lot about this team in January. This is a tough month.
Love it. I'm ready for this week. This is going to be a good kind of gauge to see how good this team is. Like, is this all fake, or are we just they've kind of got gutsy wins over some middling teams like Colorado, who's injured, San Jose, shootout win. Calgary, kind of a middling win. Vegas is injured, but they're winning those games, which they should. So we should be happy about it. But now you're coming in against teams like Dallas, Boston, Edmonton, in Vegas. This has been a good check.
Doctor, we're talking about hypotheticals here. Where would he play? Why this? We're talking about hypotheticals, man.
We're good. This is going to be a good. It's going to be good litmus test, I guess, here for the Kings going forward here.
We're good. All right. Well, I think this about ends it for us here. Hockey Royalty, you can always find us at hockeyroyalty.com. All of our articles are coming out daily. You can find us at hockey_royalty. NHL Russell, JW Paterino, and Rando Commando 24 on Twitter. Buy our gear. Look at Joe. Look at that. Look at that sweet tee or a sweater or a hoodie or any gear, because all Hockey Royalty gear is great. You're talking about that. Hey, you want to wear this on camera coming on here? Come on, hockeyroyalty.com and check out our articles. Check out our live streams. We might have a few fans coming on later in the year. Who knows? All these live streams are coming on big. This
was fun, huh, Brandon and Joe? This was a good time. We'll do more of these going forward. I know this was kind of the stretch run, a little warm up action, a little training here, but I think we had a good time. The Kings definitely gave us a good time coming back 2 goals. Can't complain about that. So definitely a good debut here for our watch party and going forward. See how that goes. But thanks for everybody for tuning in. Love it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. But yeah, should be fun going forward, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. at 1
Right.
p.m. Pacific time.
And I was, as always, go Kings, go.
Go Kings. Let's get it.